guys, welcome again to the closing argument, guys. We are here again. Today's Monday, the 15th of April, and it is a pleasure to welcome you to the closing argument. To this Monday, we like to welcome you. Pleasant good evening in Liberia, the U.S., Europe, and everywhere. We'd like to welcome you again to the closing argument. We are ready, and our panelists will be joining us soon. Chairman Benjamin Sanvee, uh, 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 Chief Sen Tomalin George, Keff Hassan, our other panelists, Ms. Grace Gua, uh, Julius, Lofa Julius, uh, and the others will be joining us. But it's a pleasant Monday. The weather was quite beautiful today. It was warm at my end, and we are looking forward to having a great show. I want to thank all of you guys that joined us last night for the show on the Butuburam refugee camp. It was a great show. We got a very pleasant feedback. People said that the show actually opened their eyes so they can see what's happening and how Liberians are treated was treated in Ghana, and continue to be treated the way they were treated. But we want to thank all of you that joined us yesterday. Today we're still going to put back our cash app up for you guys who want to help. We're hoping to send some food and water to Ghana to help our brothers and sisters in Ghana. There's a lot happening in Liberia. Yesterday we saw the fire that got at the Speaker House, and we are grateful that the Speaker is doing and his family are doing well. Property can always come back, or your life cannot always come back. Once you go down, you're not going to come back up, especially theft and other things. But we are very, very grateful to have you. Let me just introduce some folks here. We have Big Smoke. Good day, Williams. He's watching from Blue Mountain, Australia. He said, each time I want to fight for African rights, I use only one hand because the other hand is busy trying to keep away from Africans who are fighting me. Wow, that's a big parable right there, brother. Big one. It's a great, good parable. Looking forward. Chairman Sanvee, good to see you, man.
Hey, it's good to see you. How are you?
I'm well, man. On this Monday, I'm doing well.
Yeah, busy.
Yeah, busy week, and Monday is always a tight day. Very busy.
Yeah.
If I could
Still
just,
gotta come. Still gotta come and do what is it? The people's job?
yeah,
We're waiting for the people.
looking
Oh,
for like grand people, and that's what they
they're not paying us anyway, so big deal.
yeah, they give us all the support. But Chairman, let me just a few people I want to recognize. Then we go. Alice York, G. Gwen, John Smith, Jesse Khan. He said, "Man, you guys had me stressed. Didn't think you were coming. You were even going to come on the day. We tried, but Josiah Masale. Good evening, man. Good to see you. Ruth Robert Quenba. Always good to see you, man. How many times this refugee got us through, and that we'll continue to talk it until they get out of there. We are here, following alternative Pa L. Luba Jr. Good to see you. But Ben, how is the speaker doing so far? How is he doing now?
Oh, he's good. He's good. I had a chance to speak with him. I think we spoke about 3 times today.
Okay.
I spoke with him earlier this morning just to check on him and the family. Everybody's doing well. There's just an outpouring of concern
Mm,
and love for him. I tell people all the time, it speaks to the life that you live
hmm
when you. I mean, yesterday was very telling
hmm
when I was watching that video and I saw. Hold on, let me read my computer before because the emails will be coming here will not stop. But yesterday, I saw ordinary people crying,
Hmm.
people from his community, his neighborhood, going into
Hmm.
the fence
Right.
and taking buckets and using the pool
Hmm.
to. I mean, it's testament to the man. Um, who Kofa is. I mean, he's not a perfect man. I like to premise that, but he's a good man,
Yeah.
and I do know he has. I do know he has a huge heart when it comes to his country and what he wants to see happen.
Hmm.
It's just unfortunate. I'm only grateful, to be honest with you. I'm sad about the house being burned, but I'm just grateful that nothing happened to him and his
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
That was the only relief. I mean, when I saw the fire, when I saw it raging, my number one concern was reach out, reach out. Is he okay? Is he okay? The moment he replied me and he texted me and said we're fine, those are material things.
Yes.
You can replace them. He can build a
Yeah.
new house. He can buy new clothes. He can get new shoes. But once your life is gone, and I was really grateful to God. But he's doing very well. He is overwhelmed by the amount of love and support he's getting from across the aisle. I think you saw the president visit the site today, which was
Yeah.
very kind of him.
Yeah.
Former President Weah, has been very gracious. He said, because he has no clothes, so President Weah. So I asked him, I said, "But you shot the man tall, so how you?" And he said, "Oh no, he said they had to bring a tailor this morning to take in the suits and to do some things, because but it's fascinating how he's the strength. He's very strong. He's very
Okay.
strong. I mean, he's taking this thing in stride. I still believe he's a little shocked. He's still in the shock, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why
Mm-hmm.
it probably hasn't hit him. He did tell me that when he went there to see the property, it kind of hit him a little bit. But look, the question now begins. The investigation is on. I know there's a forensic fire expert who's coming from the state, someone who is his insurance agent.
Mm-hmm.
They're flying down to Liberia to do an investigation to see what's the cause. There's a lot of hypotheses and theories out there, but we wait to see. We will not rush to judgment, but we'll wait to see what it is. Yeah, but he's doing well, and I'm just grateful to God for his life, because Kofa has been a huge presence in my life. He's been very instrumental in my rise in politics. He's been a mentor to me. I compare him close to a father figure. He's somebody who I look up to a lot. And like I said, I just want to thank God for him, for his wife Dama. She's strong. I could see it on her face today when the president went there. You can
Mm-hmm.
see she was very, very taking. Women take it a little different, right?
Yeah.
So, but we're grateful. We're grateful for all of that. Yeah.
In a nutshell, I would say this man, he's a damn good man. We Liberian would say it like that. That he's a damn good man. He's a good man, and when somebody who have a good heart, not only for his own family, but for other people around the world, people that he helped all over the country. I mean, you go from his district to other places and everywhere. You wish that those things would happen. I just hope it was a natural cause. I just didn't. I just hope that some people. I mean, it's not something else. I hope that, because
Mhm.
that would be very, very, very wicked to the core. But I can't say anything. But we just hope. But thank God he's alive. He will get the clothes. He will get everything back. The house will be rebuilt. Everything will happen. So we want to thank God that he and his wife. I did watch that video as well, Ben, and saw him and his family. I know they are still in a state of shock. There are some other things, a lot of, documents and other things that just went that way. That my friend, Senator Joseph,
Sir
told me.
Joseph, yeah, something
Yeah, I
similar to
was thinking about. I was in this
for
situation
him.
myself,
Yeah.
and he told me. He said that it was tough. He said he gave for him. He gave up. He said, I
Wow.
was only standing to the door to just die, because everywhere when I turned,
Yeah, because they had to bust the door up. They had to bust that little
yeah,
place open, right? And
he said there was
again, neighbors. It tells it's a testament to how you live with your
yeah,
community.
Yeah.
Sai is also a good man, and you're
Yeah.
right, Peabody. He's a good man. I mean, look, sometimes and I'm glad we're talking about this before the rest of the guys come. Sometimes we tend to forget, and we allow politics to cloud everything. We tend to forget that these people are humans. They're far from perfect. They are in the public space, so it is fair game to criticize them, to critique them. But they have blood running through their veins. They have families who care for them. They have people who love them. They have supportive. And so sometimes it's so easy for us to just forget that that they're human beings also. So true to what you're saying, we send our hearts also to Society Jose. I mean, I know he too is still going through
Yeah.
his own rehabilitation stage. Losing everything, he has to rebuild, but yet and still find time to go ahead and do the people's job. So
Yeah. And I was amazed when I saw the speaker this morning having a press conference
yeah,
and then receiving other guests, international guests as well. I was surprised. I'm like, wow. Some people not. I mean, but his willpower, the willpower that he had to just get out there and keep it going. And it speaks volume. To show that even with all the circumstances, he's still there. He still put the country first and all of that. I think it's very important. I think it was very kind of the president to go and visit as well. To
very
visit.
kind, very kind,
You know,
very kind, Peabody. Look, you could see the care, you could see the concern in the president's face. And it was very kind of him. He didn't have to. Let's be frank.
yeah,
He didn't have to. I
right,
mean, he could have issued a statement and say, hey, or place a call to him, because the speaker said last night he spoke with him for almost 20 minutes.
right,
That he was in bombing on his farm. So we thank the president
right.
for showing the fatherly figure side.
Mm-hmm.
Again, like I said, we forget that these people are human beings, and everything in our country has become so politicized. I mean, I saw
Yeah,
people trying to throw little shots here and there, talking about, look, it doesn't take away, Peabody, that ordinary people go through this thing every single day. Maybe tonight somebody's house will get burned. We may not even know, right? We
yeah,
and But it doesn't take away from the fact that at the end of the day, a national conversation needs to happen
you're
about
right.
this issue of fire, and we
Yeah,
have to be very, very, very strategic now on how we deal with it. And there has to be capacity. I think somebody talked about the fact that the fire service is not responding. People are not. How will they respond if they don't have the capacity to respond?
yeah, yeah,
It's like you telling a teacher to go and teach in a classroom with
right.
no blackboard, nothing. You just
Yeah,
tell him, you say, you know what, just go and talk to the people.
yeah,
And or you telling a child who wants to be a chemist that he can be a chemist without studying in a lab.
yeah,
Those things don't work. It don't
yeah.
work. So we need to have a serious conversation as a country about what is important to us.
Mm-hmm.
The little things that we take for granted, and people, they I mean, you were coming here. The little things, right? The little things that we take for granted. Peabody, we grew up in Liberia. We saw that country. Everything wasn't perfect, but imagine living in a country where if your house is getting burned, you can't even get a fire truck to come. You can't. Just look in this country. If somebody just call 911, if a child just sprain his hand, if my daughter sprain her hand and they call 911, you will see an ambulance, you will see a fire
Everything.
truck, you will see literally everything racing coming.
Right.
You know, so I think we do need to have a national conversation about first responders. It's
Yes.
important, and we have to support them. And I know the speaker is very committed to it. I know it's something that he was talking about before, even the fire thing. And I had a chance to talk to Representative Ta one way about it. Also, he was just telling me, he said it was one of the conversations that they were having, and it's just ironic that this happened to him.
Yeah, it's really sad, Ben, because the entire country, I think they have 2 or 3 fire truck. The entire country, and tell me if you living around Dwazo and other places, and there's a fire. I mean,
Oh,
you're
you,
done.
oh, yeah.
You're on your own. you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
and and if Speaker Kofa was living over there and did not even pay attention to his neighbors or care for them, tell me what was going to happen yesterday, you know. But it's the same, you know, the way you live around your friends and the things, your neighbors, and all of them came to give support. A lot of them were there and helping. But Liberia is in a very serious problem because we don't have fire trucks. I mean, like you said, the first responder, uh, 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 they are very poor. I mean, they come up there and sometimes they don't know what to do or they don't have the logistic to even fight real serious fire. And it's very sad for our country, you know. And I think there should be a priority now by the government. At least get fire truck in different parts of the country. You don't expect a fire truck to drive from all the way Broad Street to EWA or all the way to a dry zone, other places just to fight fire. By the time they get there, the home or people be dead already. You know, so I mean, but I hope there can be a solution. They can find the cause of this fire. I mean, how did people home? How did the speaker house? Beautiful home, nice, everything. I've been to that home. I've seen it before. How did his home get burned? How did that happen? You know, what caused it? What triggered all of that? You know, we're just quick to conclude that oh maybe LEC came and LEC current were too strong and the whole house started burning and stuff like that. I haven't heard that. I haven't where the current come and too strong and then it started to burn. But I think Liberia has a very serious problem when it comes to the first responder situation. We have a very serious problem. We don't have enough fire truck in the country, in the county. So if a fire is burning in Buchanan, you expect the car to leave from Monrovia and go to Buchanan to treat it. I mean, it is bad. That should be a priority, healthcare and the first responder situation because it's very
I,
bad for the country. It's very bad,
I
you know.
agree. I agree with you, Peabody, 100%. Again, we need strategic thinkers. Yes, this falls on the government, but the people who are appointed in these functionaries now need to start to think outside of the box. They not need to start to become innovative. That's what leadership is about. If
Right.
you have been appointed to fire service, help the government. You know the government is very tight right now on the issue of purse. Right, the pie is a little too small, so everybody has to compete. So start to be a little innovative. Tomalin, let's welcome Tomalin George, who's just joining us. Who would take the reins of the show
Yeah.
as we're so used to Tomalin hosting the show now. I
Yeah.
don't
So
remember the last time I hosted this show.
well,
I think that comes second nature. That by the time he show up, I'm like, okay, good, he's here.
yeah,
So he can
yeah,
take control of his anchor chair, our Wolf Blitzer. But
yeah.
but no, Tommy, we're just having a frank conversation here about Speaker Kofa. We all know him. He's like a big brother to all of us, and I'm sure we were all. I mean, I could see the panic. All of us in one chat room with him. Everybody, we have a general chat room with him in it, and I could see the panic across the board, right? Everybody was, and the only question everybody kept asking was, "Is he okay? Is he okay? Is he okay? Is he okay?" Nobody was even worried about the host per se, right? It was like, "Is he okay? Is he okay?"
Yeah.
And God forbid if the worst had happened. I mean, my thing is, we really need to have a conversation. That's why maybe we need to bring back the fire chief here again to speak to the Liberian people, to speak to the government of Liberia, to talk about how they need to start thinking out of the box. Whether we like it or not, the president has appointed people at fire service. Maybe we need to just help them, right? Maybe let's just help them. Our people are dying. Tell me, this could have been your family, this could have been your cousin, this could have been anybody. My mom lives in Liberia, right? My little brother is still in Liberia. I have families in Liberia. This thing is a problem, and we need to have a serious national conversation about it. I don't know what your thoughts are.
Well, it's good to be back. And Ben, like you said, man, look, first of all, let me say I thank God for Speaker Kofa and his family. Like I said in the chat room, uh, just give praise to God for everything. And only God knows why it happened yesterday like that. But honestly, since the last 24 hours, I mean, I give it to him though. He's been calm. I mean, like you said, Ben, I was listening to you driving, and he's been calm, and he's not, not this kind of person who will be so like unstable or so. But he's been calm and taking it with strides. And again, like you said earlier, the life you live speak for you. like he said, the clothes he had on yesterday was a neighbor that gave it to him to
Yeah,
wear.
yeah.
You know, the thing he wore. And honestly, you and I, we frequent that particular neighborhood. And on
Mm-hmm.
you talk about Kofa in that neighborhood. If you are running for office in that in that neighborhood, he will get most of the votes because he's well loved by his neighbors because he shared with them, and he's not somebody who is that person who will be in the high fence and just not see the neighbors. You know, if and people loves him in your neighborhood, and he said, like he said, perhaps this will bring national attention. Uh, you know, I saw the president there today visited him, and you know, the fire chief had worked with President Boyka when he was vice president, even went to his inauguration, and they hope that they would have elevated the fire debate. But President Boyka, I think they are disappointed with the president because where they thought they would have built with him as when he became president, but when he started making the appointments and not showing interest in the fire issue, they got disappointed. And I think the fire chief said he was writing President Boyka a long communication when he returned from Liberia. And for what happened, I saw the president, I saw he and Speaker Kofa having some tete-a-tete today. I'm sure I could, in my mind, I believe you're telling him, say, look, we must now put this stuff in the budget. Let's prioritize this. Let's prioritize the fire issue, you know. And on this note, I want to call on all Liberians that's having LEC connection. Please find some professional electrician. Let them check your wires. Let them check it. Let them check it. Because most of the time they've been saying when Sir Joseph thing happened, they said as soon as LEC current came, that when the fire they started. They said he was Speaker Kofa, but he said today in his interview, he said my house was wired properly, so it's not no faulty lines. That's why I'm happy he's bringing in a professional fire expert to come and do the investigation with the fire service. But like I said, you can't rule nothing. But again, I'm happy it will be investigated, and that. But all Liberians, please, all our family members, our friends in Liberia, please check your wiring system in your homes because each time anything happened, we are told that they were the wiring. LEC current came on, the fire started. So please check it out to make sure that everything is intact. And LEC too need to really get on the A game to find out what's going on because since the inception of the new government, the last 3 months, there have been numerous fires outbreaks throughout the country, and it's alarming and it's something that we can just say just leave it. It got to be investigated. So I hope that they will investigate what's happening and take this seriously. And lastly, the budget before the legislature right now is to prioritize. I mean, you and I watching live yesterday. You know how long it took for fire trucks to come on the scene, and then thank God for Musa ability, he got some private fire truck to get on the scene to help. You know,
Well, it's a Streamex fire truck.
okay, you see that? Thank
His
God.
company. His company has a tank farm, and so they have to. Yeah.
And Ben, like the speaker said, he said, asking the question today, he said, look, I ain't neighbor with the former president, the present president, and he don't know whether they were being a faster response to the fire upbringing. I mean, upbringing one of their homes, because the Liberian Fire Service, yeah, they were gallant, but they came unprepared. I watched the whole thing. First of all, they don't even had to look. A lot needs to be done, and a lot needs to be done. Then, and the good thing about it, Speaker Kofa cars were taken from there quickly. People managed to get it off. When the fire truck came, Liberians, I mean, oh my God, they were all in the people way. Everybody, I mean, I understand, but once the people arrive on the scene, let them take over. But they were all in the people, had the people get to the house to put water in the house. It was all so confusing. But I just thank God that no lives were lost. And he said most of his documents were in the basement, and that Ali was safe. He told the president today say it was safe. But I just my thoughts and prayers with he and his family, and all Liberians who have been going through this fire a nightmare. And I pray that our lawmakers now will take seize of this matter and prioritize our national fire service.
And I think it is very, very important. Tomalin, you strike a point here that the government need to. This should be just how the president declare drugs a national emergency. The Liberian government need to do that because a fire the fire situation now in Liberia cannot be resolved. Every house that caught on fire either got burned. No, the no what you say the fire service came in and they were able to arrest the situation. Another thing is, do we have trained fire servicemen? Uh, 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 you
Yeah,
can't take you can't take somebody who's a mechanic and making a fire chief. It's not going to be possible. Or it's like taking a driver and telling him to go and work in the engineering department, take it to be a teacher. I think the problem here is you must have trained men, and I must give credit to Winfred Russell. Winfred Russell have been one of the advocates for getting Liberian firemen in this country to be trained. In fact, he went the extra miles of getting the fire chief from Reston, Virginia, and the one from former fire chief from Minnesota. They were on the show 2 times. They went to Liberia for the inauguration of VP Barker and pledged their support and willingness to help the Liberian government to deal with the fire situation. Why not take advantage of those kind of people? Why not take advantage of those are wealth you have, folks who will help you guide you through. I mean, Reston, Virginia it's a big city, very rich city, where you have somebody from Liberia who's the head of the fire department. He's the chief. I read that on the newspaper when the guy was appointed. So they won't just take anybody and make them a fire chief. Why not tap into the gift that those guys have to build all your fire department? They were willing. The fire chief is willing. But if you're appointing people who are not even trained and they are going there, what do you expect them to do? They're going to screw up the same way, and there will be no result. Nothing going to happen. Okay, so I think I would put guys like Winfred Russell on the board or ask him, and then working with the fire chief or liaison here to work with other people. But he has been a strong advocate for Liberian, especially when it comes to training of the not only the fire servicemen but even the police. He has been a very strong advocate for that. Yeah. So
Well, look, people like you said, man. Look, again, Ben, it's sad. I mean, it's sad, and the Liberian people should understand. But Ben, I don't know how true is it, but I don't know. One of the recommendations for deputy fire chief, I heard that Delon recommended somebody that worked with him, and if he really did that, the person that had no fire knowledge, and we had trained according to the guys from the fire chiefs. They said they had trained that the guy that called Connor Dixon, the fire chief, that was under the Weir administration. They said they have been working with this guy, help to build him up, build his capacity, and they felt that he was someone that could continue to hang on. There's some areas you just don't put partisan there, but if they really did that and got rid of the people who are professionals, who knows the fire science of fire science or whatever the case, and put partisan or friendship there, I think that it's not fair to the country. And it's just something that they should understand, that they should get us. I mean, it should provoke their conscience, because like fire. I mean, you and I know, all of us on this show who's in the States. First of all, in every home we have fire detector. First of all, the second thing, that's why in every office in America they do what they call fire drill, because the people they do it just in case to see what happens in case the fire takes place. They do it at the schools, everywhere. They do fire drill just to ensure that always be prepared. And then I was watching last night as the fire was blazing in the speaker's house. I said, yeah, in America, but now you have in America you got 10 trucks already there. Police would have been there. Everybody would have. Oh my God! We need to do better. And the lawmakers, and this is why. And I was hearing last week when they said, I think Senator McGee said it made, after everything, they made about $10,000 a month. I mean, I don't have a problem with what they are making per se, but they should prioritize the national budget, put it on these. These are serious national emergency. Put money into it. We need fire trucks in every district. We have 17 electoral district. If they will do it, put fire trucks in every district. They got to do it. Do something and build a capacity. But because Ben, you said it could be any one of us. I was watching last night. I said, "Wow, we'll go like bro. Even why somewhere we stop it, so we leave it, where we stay sometimes." And now when I go to Liberia, I also go June. When I go Liberia now, before I'll make sure I get electrician to check everywhere. They'll check the fire, all these stuff, because I won't be laying down sleeping one night, and then they say LEC car coming, then next thing they're blazing. man, you know, my man. Some all go to sleep. We'll just go sound. You know, I don't want to be caught up in that thing and it's the man left from America, you go like bro, you go that fire, that guy burn fire. But it's a serious thing though. Very serious thing. Get a bowl.
Yes. Good to be back. But talking about the fire
Ben,
situation.
you be smiling for man. What happened? What you smiling for, Ben?
No, I was receiving a text.
Tell me, be smiling. Oh,
I
okay.
was receiving a text or somewhere.
No,
Go ahead.
maybe Ben get the message from Monrovia. So I'm just trying to adjust myself here. But here is what I would say. I listen to you guys. Liberia is a country that needs everything. I mean, we basically need everything. But sometimes the way our leaders approach issues, it can create problem by itself. When Ebola started, then Liberia realized they didn't even have ambulance in the country. But all along, all of the people who experienced living in other countries have been leading the country. No ambulance. It was not an issue until Ebola struck, right? Now, I was just sitting down at work today. I said, maybe we need to ask some of the journalists in Monrovia to do the count of fire incidents since the new government came to power. I think by my rough count, I think we have had like probably 12 or more fire incidents in the country. And if it is even more, or if it is 12, then that will be historically the highest in the history of the country. Okay? So we need to know what's happening. But we don't need to have a knee-jerk approach to this, to say we need to just buy more fire truck and put in all the 73 districts. No, because it takes capacity to make the fire truck to work. So what we need to do is focus on the training aspect. Do we have people? Do we have the money to pay them good so they can remain there and do work as a fire serviceman at the district level, at the national level? We need to plan for that. Put in the money. Focus on training before even bringing logistics, okay? Because there's a danger if you give tools or equipment to people who are not trained. You are actually agent of death. That's basically what you do. So, I mean, it's common in our country. People say, oh, we need schools. If you go around Liberia, in many districts, in many villages, you see beautiful school buildings, but no trained teachers. Because we focus on when politicians go during election time, people say, oh yeah, we need school, we need clinic. And sometimes they do deliver, but it's not in line with the Ministry of Education or the Ministry of Health delivery plan. So you have this building, but quacks are operating it. So what are they doing? What are they doing? They are actually creating more harm than solving the problem. And that would be my question, my comment on that. And Tomalin, when you're talking about 73 districts having fire trucks.
Well, Alice Jones, well, good to see you. Been a long time.
Why you brought
Thank
that
you.
up?
You want to you want to weigh on this fire? On the fire
Alex, come here, rip the whole country apart.
Ben Sanvee, you better grow on me, actually. And I think you put it to the now. I think I would select you as my running mate.
Oh, God. Jesus.
Alex running already?
It's good to see you, Alex.
Alex is running already?
Yes.
Are you running to no man land?
Well, wherever, But I call all the young people, all the people like yourself, the intellectual and the people who want change to support me, because that's the only way I think change can come to Liberia, if a new and young generation take over the mental power. I think the old politicians have failed us in every way, form, and shape. And it's disappointing when I find young, vibrant, intelligent people supporting old politicians that have failed. Now, this is not any, prejudice against any old person. Okay, it's just that when you've come and you held a position, and you have not delivered, we should be honest to say, step aside and allow other people to come. Don't take away your party indefinitely. You know, like what you're doing, like bring politics, what a political leader every 6 year is a same candidate. So Ben, you chairman Ben, I hope they are deliver their party. We have a new vibrant young leader to come up, you know, to bring change. And I brother, old people just can't do it. They don't have the, you know, the skills and ability in our current era. So, but thank you guys always for having me to add my 2 cents. I think this I still like. I very much like this show. Um, you guys are always open to different viewpoints, and that's one of the reasons why I always try to come on and add my views. My intention is not to humiliate any particular person. I'm a very kind-hearted guy.
Yeah,
Okay.
right. Don't mind. but no, it's interesting that you say that because I wanted to ask you about this fire thing. I heard Kelabo talk about, he struck a point when he talked about Ebola, he talked about all the different pandemics and epidemics, all the different things that has happened, right, when it comes to Liberia. And I remember very well because during Ebola, I was running for the Senate. And I remember after when Ebola hit, I think Liberia had more ambulances than any other country in the world. I mean, it was like an influx of, and because what caused the problem, what made the disease spread the way it spread was because we didn't have ambulances. So people were taking the Ebola victims and putting it in a car because they didn't understand the science. And so the moment we figure out the science that, okay, you know what, stay away from them. That once the fluid touch you, you would get it. If you don't touch them, you would not get it. So that meant we needed a lot of ambulances. I remember the floodgates open. And the question I'm asking today is, where are all those ambulances though? Where because like you said, Caleb, the issue is about maintenance, right? You are absolutely right. And then I will probably let Alex just chime in on this. You may see an open door policy now of just fire trucks all over the country. And then maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 months, a year from now, you will see all those fire trucks on the sidewalk, all broken down. People even know what to do with it. There will be a total waste of money and resources. So I agree with you. I think there has to be a comprehensive plan. And this is again where leadership and vision comes. Leadership and vision. These things don't just happen by mistake. They're not magic. The reason why it works in these countries, America, African countries, all these countries that are doing things right, is because of vision and leadership. Leaders who have decided that, you know what, we're going to deal with the structural issues. So I agree with you, Kelabo, on the issue of that because, you know, we're a very reactive group of people. We're not proactive. We're very reactive. By the time something happens, everybody, oh yeah, you know what, we just need to fire truck. Let's put fire truck all over the place. And you're right, Kelabo. And last point on this, Alex coming. If you even watched the video yesterday, Tomalin, watch that video. There was a fire truck parked in the driveway that didn't have water in it.
No water. Wow.
There was no water in that fire truck. Guess what? That fire truck was parked in that driveway for almost 30 minutes. The second fire truck came and it had to wait for another 15 to 20 minutes for them to find the driver to remove the fire truck from in the driveway for them to go and move it. So it's a structural, it's a capacity issue. It's a problem that really needs leadership, like many other problems that we have in Liberia. I mean, it's like the country is just, I don't know how 20 years later, after a war, 3 successive democratic elections, and we stay at the, you know, y'all help me. Y'all help me. Maybe I'm missing.
But before Alice comes, I know there's going to be a fire exchanger here today. So I
because he will bleed everybody. He will say you the problem then.
I actually love talking to Alex. We talk on the phone. Sometimes we talk last 45 minutes or 1 hour. So we may talk here openly today too. But before he comes in, let me make 2 quick points. Just in furtherance of my other comment, then that's precisely the issue. You see, in this country, I've taken time to go to the fire service in my community to just understand how, because it starts with volunteer. Kids start with volunteer. They have to even work there. They have to understand the building code. It's not just something you just go join fire train, start moving. Because if they're going to enter the building, they have to know how the building, what is the building code in Liberia? You know, they are treating on this thing. Is there exit? What is the safest point when there's fire? Where do you enter? Where is the exit? They have to study all they are treating on this thing. Then just jump into any building. Okay? And the last one I want
I think you gotta mute yourself.
The last one I want to make is better on
we can still hear Grace, though. I don't know.
Great,
you can hear me because I'm muted.
We can hear you. You just talk. We heard you just now.
Okay, so
now we can. Yeah. Now you're good.
The last point I wanted to make on Ellie's entry comment, as she qualified that, is when you talk about his ambition and he's talking about age. Guys, I've argued and I'll continue to argue. Age is not a political agenda. Because the last time I checked, Tanzania, there's not. The last time I checked, Tanzania, we all made reference to what John Magufuli. He was an old man in his late 60s, okay? There was a younger president before Magufuli. And he actually did far better than the younger person. So it has to take integrity and the person's record, not necessarily the person's age, or the age should not be a political issue.
Lofa, we get feedback from you.
So I like to, if Alex wants also argue on this, we can actually go to historical facts and give instances where, the immediate record will be Joshua. The immediate record will also be Samodo. Samodo, 27 or 28 when he came to power. Let's watch it. So let's argue on that. But age cannot be a factor. It has to take your record, your capacity, and people must know what integrity you have. How have you demonstrated that? Even in the Liberian community in the US, which organization you belong to? Are you been part of ULA? What has been your stand on the different issues? Has Liberia heard you during the crisis? Has Liberia
you can't be emotional all the time.
Oh, no, I'm not emotional though.
No, I'm just adding to your statement to Alex, but I'll come in my time. I will address him too.
So guys, I know the show is now about Alex running.
Yeah, we're not interviewing Alex. Alex like just panelist.
I'm on the road and I know exactly why I came on here for Alex. And right after I address Alex, I'll get off.
Oh wow, your daughter is very beautiful. Is
that Grace? Yeah, Grace.
Oh, okay.
That Grace charming. Yeah, the terrible daughter of Kelabo. But you know something before Grace come in. Look, I will say this though. All of us here tonight, go to your local fire chief, and try to represent Liberia. Ask them for help for Liberia. You need to do that. Go ask them. Wherever anybody can help, let them help our country, because that fire incident, that fire outbreaks that are happening, we should not take it lightly. If they're going into the presidential era now, it's serious now, because the former president lived in that era, the present president lived there, and the third higher person in the country will have more got that. So we should not take it lightly. When I saw the response yesterday, I was disappointed. For the fire service, we don't have a fire service in our country though. So let us be ambassador for our country on a fire issue. But Grace, then Alex.
Hi everybody. Hi to the listening audience on YouTube and also social media. Our people in Liberia. Greetings from me here in Central Pennsylvania. And to chime in on the fire incident, I'm so disappointed and sorry to the Speaker of the House and his family. I can't even imagine what they went through. It's just so saddening to see people lose their houses. Although he's not the only person, it happened to so many other people in Liberia already. I guess because he's the Speaker of the House, so now it's gaining more attention, which is understandable. It happens around the world. People who are in leadership position, when things like these happen to them, then you see more light being thrown on it. So I'm very sorry for the loss of the home, and we thank God that people were not in that house and got burned. I think during Ellen Johnson's early time, certain time came, they were throwing petrol bombs in people's homes. And I think one of the person whom that they threw the bombs was Amara Kone. And we talk about that. And it was so saddening to know that when you serve in the Liberian government, sometimes you get the hit of this thing. I'm not saying that's what happened, because it happened to other poor people. The fire has been on rampage in Liberia for some reason recently, since the new turn of this government. Now I know you guys talk about, you know, the first response to the fire from the fire service, and you know the way they respond to it, and the logistics, whether they have enough or whether the people are well trained. But I just want to focus mostly on the investigation part of what is causing the fire. And I wish that Liberia had more trained fire service people to ready, especially investigators, because at this point in time, I just, like when I saw the main house on fire, something in my heart just told me that this is not just a fire started because of some breaker in the house or something. It's like somebody threw something, or somebody started that fire on purpose. That's the first thing that came to my mind, because with everything that going on with the war and economic crimes court, and some people are not satisfied, and we will never know, because we don't know what a proper investigation will ever be done in Liberia when it comes to fire service, when it comes to plenty of other things. We don't know, but I will tip on a little bit before I shut, you know, before I turn over about what Kerebu was saying. Kerebu, you have a very, you some tendency in you with this whole age thing is really bothering you. And especially when it comes to leadership in Liberia, it comes a time, especially when you're in a certain era in this life, that things changes. The power, when people who older never prepare themselves to lead in their young age, and then they already finished going through the preparation, and then all of a sudden they are old, and they think that because they are old, so people should just recognize that they should take power and lead the younger generation who already so advanced, you know, and that we should just get our future to them, while they already laid their future. And if they wanted to become president, they should have become president in the 50s. We are not, I always say, you talk about Samuel Doe. Samuel Doe came into power with a military rule. They overthrew the government. That's how he came to power. George Weah came into power not on his credentials, not on his experience. He came to power because the people loved him because he played football. So they wanted to give him something. I guess they felt in their heart that they should give him the presidency, and they gave it to him. We're talking about other people who have the experience now, and they have the credentials, and they have proven themselves, and they are in the age range where they understand technology, where they can use the button phone. They're not thinking about crane and hello. That phone we used to use what in Liberia, you know, back in the day, in the 80s, and in almost to the 90s, where we had that long telephone wire phone. Well, when it ring, I think you never even used to use one. That's what the old people are used to now. I personally will say that for you to become president of Liberia, there should be an age limit to it, because this is Africa. It's not an easy place. It's any country in Africa is not an easy place. It's not an easy country to rule or to lead. So as a president, they should. I think the age 70 is enough. 70 years old is what God has given everybody on the earth. Anything after 70 is grace period. It means God just favor you at that point in time. You get 20 more years, you 70, 80, 90, or you got 10 more years. We're not going to risk our country with people who got borrowed time. No. Your mean time is from your time you're born to 70 years old. That's when you can flex. After that borrowed time, we cannot risk you dying in office. We cannot risk you being there and something happened to you. We cannot, although it's not limited to younger people because they can still get sick, but at least we know that they stand a chance. And that's why I personally, if I were in the position, the Queen of Africa, you know, like the way Prince Charles and Princess, that I was going to set my limit, especially for leadership in that country, that after 70 years, especially for the presidency and the Chief Justice, they should not be more than 70 years old. Technology is moving fast. We who in our 50s now, or we who in our 40s now, we who in our 30s, go out to catch up with technology saying easy. I'm still learning how to use my iPad. I'm still fighting with my cell phone. Some of the benefit on the cell phone say I don't even know how to use it. Then you take a 75-year-old man, you put him in the season, or he will still be on the time. So that's, you know, and that's why I stay on the way. But I hear myself will never agree on this.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
I can see you now. No, yeah, but please wait, Kevin, please wait.
I'm not talking again.
Yeah, you and Grace, you're not coming to. Because Grace not tell her lapa for you. I can see it in her face. She already, when you see her talking, when you see Grace talking, and she's doing like this. She had noticed her. By the time she starts shaking in her chair, you know, step on her corn. So
I hope Rabbi will come for her.
I beg you. Let get Alex to come in. He hasn't said anything.
Okay, so well, thank you, Ben. Look, Grace, let me tell you something. If I was where you were, I would put you on my back and carry you. And in fact, you're a queen. You don't have to be a leader, or you have to be your queen. And the reason why I'm saying that, a lot of times people agree in they want this quota system where because somebody is a female or somebody is, I don't believe in quota system. What I believe in is the most qualified person. And what you have said here today struck me as a well thought of response. You laid out your case why you need people who are from this generation with the technology and what have you to lead. The world is technological. It's simple as that. You know, so, and I also agree with you that no one over 70 years old should be in power. I think we should have a retirement age in Liberia, not just the presidency or any other position in public life, but we should have the same way how you have an age, you got to be 25 years old before you can run for president or vice president in Liberia. Why can't we have an age of 70 to be the retirement age, or 65?
But,
secondly,
Alex, just for the record, there's a retirement age for the Chief Justice, which I find.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, but for the presidency
in Liberia, there's a retirement age. When you pass 70, you can be Chief Justice, but you can be president when you pass 70, which is the most
makes no sense.
So,
which makes absolutely no sense. But I've seen across the board, whether you central bank governor or you minister or you even running for a senator, 70 years old, go take care of your grandchildren. You go be your elder in the community. Go and mentor other young people, serve on boards, and you got plenty of things to go teach. So I agree with you on that point, and I think Calabo is very wrong. I think the fact that you have a lot of qualified young people, and you made a point about George Weah. George Weah was not elected in Liberia because he went to a debate and he put up a platform and and people made a conscious decision on his leadership. He was rewarded for being a celebrity and what he's done to Liberian people, which I thought was a mistake. And we saw the consequences because he was not prepared. Look, I'll go to the fire situation here. All right. What are you carrying fire trucks in Liberia? What who house got burned is not the solution, because you don't have the structure in Liberia to support it. The older generation and the previous president, this answer your question, Ben, you are talking about, we've had democracy for 20. You can have democracy for 200 years. If you don't make the change that's necessary, right, it would be like riding on a flat tire. And Liberians have never had the kind of reform. The reason why fire service work in other parts of the world, including America, they have a structure. It's funded, okay, at the city level. So when you buy a house in America, when you build a house, the contractor and all these things, there are money that goes to your fire department so they can buy trucks, so they can keep it. If you don't have that kind of structure, if you carry a fire truck, one tire of a fire truck costs maybe $10,000. How are you gonna sustain it? So our problem is not, we don't have ambulances, or we don't have, certain equipment. We don't have the structure, the management structure to maintain it. And the reason we don't have that structure is because we elect people who simply don't know. We elect people on emotions and popularity and tribes. They come with no policy. They come with no real solution. Because I like Ben, so Ben running for senator, that my man, so I support it. I'm not asking Ben, what is your platform? How are you going to address, fire safety? How are you going to address funding of education? How are you going to address healthcare? Even the government will have no system to fund the healthcare system. So the lack of management in our political leadership. We have management other places. If you go to Echo Bank, they have a management there. They're making money. But when it comes to our political system in Liberia, unfortunately, we've looked the other ways. So that's your problem right there. You need to have people in government that have the managerial skills. Yeah, when people going to run for senator or representative, most of these people are already been CEOs. They've built companies, they've sold companies, they've managed billions of dollars. Okay, they just doing a public service. In Liberia, somebody who never, like my man, Thomas Falau, you never even manage a lemonade stand, or Dallas DeLon, you never had the skills.
Oh, you my friend, man, I swear.
No. Let's be real. This is an open conversation. This is the truth. So if you never manage anything, working for a government in a little capacity, in a broken system, does not give you the skills that you need. So we want people in government they've had a career in the area of government that they're going to be concentrating on. All right, they've had the skills, they have the intelligence, they know the technology. Those are the people can offer something. You can't offer, a lemon tree cannot bear apple. So that's why we're in this circle, the tail spin every day. I'm not conflicted. There will be more problems. I told you guys we're on the show. You were talking about the budget a few months ago. I came on. I told you guys that y'all have serious economic problems. Y'all having it now. Listen to Spoon. They're talking, the government doing I said the thing. How many times?
You did.
I said Bremer Kamara was not qualified. He did not have the experience on this very show. I think I've been proven. How many times do I have to be correct? Thank you.
So, Alex, my daughter manages a lemonade stand. She's in the Girl Scouts. So you say my daughter is more qualified than somebody. I just thought that was a deep dig that you did right there. So I want to pictures when you compare a lemonade. She has a serious business she's running with her lemonade stand.
Let's put it this way: if she was running for something and she has a good track record with her earning statement and her growth, I'd rather support her or somebody who never managed her lemonade stand. Let's put it that way.
No, but it's good, brother. Welcome, Keff Hassan, to the show. Keff, welcome. It's good to see you, my brother. We'll get you a chance to kind of chime in. You just joined, then we'll take it to Tomalin and start all over. But you are absolutely right, Alex. I think it's important, and it's also about. And just one last thing, it's also about the. I think we also have a societal structural problem, right? We also talking about like I'm talking about my daughter, right? She's in the Girl Scout. They're training these. I mean, these are things that are deliberate things that we do as parents in this country, because we know we don't have the time to listen. You don't spend during the week. 80% of your child's day is spent with strangers, school, daycare. So you find a way to compensate, right? So in the Girl Scout, the Boys and Girls Club, all of these things. These are organizations that are teaching these children leadership, how to manage money, how to do things. So you're right, my brother. You hit the nail. I just saw it was funny when you said that they have not managed a lemonade stand. But Kev, come in and then tell me you can take it and start. We can start all over.
Okay, let me just say hi to everybody. Yesterday, I had a text exchange with an article from a hard goes to him and his family. He said it right. Property can go, but the lives are still there. So my heart does go to him and his family. The situation in Liberia, a lot of people think the rhetoric with this government could solve the problem. And Alex, you are right. You said it on the show. But when you speak the truth, they'll say you're a pay agent, or you don't like this person, you don't like this person, or because your affiliation with government. They certain things this government is doing right don't surprise me. But what surprised me most It's the depth of how competent they are not. I thought they would, to be honest with you, I thought they would hit the ground running because they have former government people, the same guys, you know. I thought they would hit the ground running. All those things will be on top of it. But fire truck went to Fanati house, no water in the truck. What they were going to do? Do the assessment and come by and get water. Oh, this was the former government. Everybody will say they're not competent. They don't know what they're doing. But folks say this government, they will bring a lot of competent people. And myself, I was like, okay, you know, they were there. They'll bring certain people. You know, when you talk about Wema Kamara, I say, okay, you know, you might make some sense, but maybe it's politics at that time. But actually, we are saying the depth of the incompetency is so alarming that nothing happening. So, you know, I would just leave it here. But what going on in the country is like, there's a lot of people. I don't know. I think certain people giving up. But I would say that don't give up, because a lot of people giving up. It's like, hey, we expect this government to do better. You know, look at the budget. Look what happened in the country. The same thing they talk about, the CTM, the this and that, every single structure that they talk about, still there, and it's still working with the same people, and it's still doing the same people, and they still sign the same contract, and they are the same people that they talk about. Go to the port, go everywhere. In the entire country, same thing. They change nothing. So I just think, you know, the only thing that they just lied to the people, and the people bought it. And a lot of growing folks that we expect to be intelligent bought into that nonsense, and they're there now, and they're talking. Anyway, I start for now.
I was informed that the three head of the fire services right now, they did not show up for confirmation hearing. And
what do you mean?
I don't know why.
They're supposed to
nominated three. They did not. I was told they did. I said they did it quietly, but I mean, so you know, they didn't show up, and I don't know. I think I think
because one of the deputies that belong cameraman, right? That belong former cameraman, one of the deputies.
I don't know. I'm not confirming it, but that's what I heard.
No, but I can confirm it. Yes.
You have been Lofa account.
What I do?
Yeah,
what I do know is that
the
former fire chief from Maryland, I think from Minnesota, and other guys who are personal friends of President Boyka. When he was vice president, he met them and he invited them to his inauguration. And he had been working with the guy they called Connor Dixon, Alex Dixon. They worked with him, and they were like building his capacity and helping him, you know, to keep to run the department. Even thought that they recommended, if I'm not mistaken, that you should keep this guy because he already knew the problem of the fire issue in Liberia, and he would have been a great help. But unfortunately for them, the partisan politics came into play, and it just took over, and the partisans to head the fire bureau, which is affecting us now because these guys who are on the show, I heard that they are not happy, and their support they were going to give to Liberia, they have just halted right now because they are dissatisfied with the way in which the fire issue was handled. You know, and it brings me to the point where, as I said, we shouldn't wait for 2029. If you're really serious to rescue Liberia, but you guys should get involved. Every time I talk to people now, I'll tell people out an hour to get on the weekend, and I told the guys on the table, I said, look, we should not criticize now. It's time everybody get involved. 2029, before 2029, don't say, oh, that the people think, oh, I want to be involved. No. If you're serious to retire in Liberia, make Liberia a permanent home, you got to get involved. We cannot accept the fact that for the last 18 years, two parties have dominated our political system, and the country is still where it is. It's sad, you know. And today, Ben, maybe you can talk about that. The CPB came to an end today, right? And it was a well-attended program too. Well-attended program.
Yeah, and I got my thoughts on
I saw
that.
this.
I got my thoughts on the fact that it was well attended.
Program. Councillor Gonglo spoke very well. I love his comments. Charlene Bromsky, the CDC acting chairman. I mean, all these people, MPP, and I don't know what the plans, but they are now saying that it's no more time for collaboration. It's time to start talking, getting involved. But again, you know, they will all want to be president again. The problem, they all want to be president. So it's about time that they start ticking all the box. But guys, Peabody, you can weigh in on this end the fire debate, and then maybe you can join in the CPB's conversation, maybe.
Well, we already, you know, we already talked about this fire situation. The government need to make a priority and get trained people. The problem is you're appointing people who are not trained. They have no idea of these things that are happening. You keep repeating the same thing will happen. You don't want to appoint people to key areas like fire services because you know them or because they work with you or you just put in them. You want people who are actually trained. And as I said earlier, Winfred Russell, one of those who have advocated for years, bringing in firemen from Liberia and offering training, connecting them with the fire service of Minnesota and that of Reston, Virginia. He had fought. The guys were on the show. He had done it. Why not get Winfred involved and get the fire chief involved and make them some kind of consultant? They are willing to provide the service free of charge. In rebranding our fire service or reorganizing our entire fire service group. But every time people come there, they bring their friend, they put them there, they sit under that place all day, they hardly get paid, the trucks are not functioning, and you expect them to perform a miracle when there's a major fire to go there and take control. It's not going to happen until some kind of reform take place about how you provide first responder services in that country. There will be a lot of home burning again, and people just gather and people take it in their own hand, probably bring water and stuff to try to save people. But it's sad. In regards to the CPP, you know, I don't like talking about this because Liberians, politicians, they are not committed when it comes to holding together in moving forward. Everybody go there with their own selfish agenda. That's why you saw how the CPP ended. Everybody embraced them from the initial stage that, oh yeah, when it came up first, oh, this is the party that's going to engage Georgia. But we saw in the middle of that, when folks were talking about this person will use his money to come in and bribe, and you were talking about block voting, and you were talking about courthouse, you were talking about accusing somebody of freeing red document. Today, Buckeye going testifying against his own best friend and all kinds of stuff. So I don't really want to give any kind of credence to it right now until I see the commitment of the people. I know Councilor Dongo is a great man. I know he's committed to this kind of thing. You know, he's very honest. You got a guy like Ellis coming and other, but for now, I'm not going to take anyone that serious until I see how they hold together.
So let me come in.
Well, Chairman, come in. You know, what Peabody says is true. And Chairman, look, the whole thing about the whole CPP, and I like what the former ruling party chairman said today. Janga said, he said, don't believe that. He said that result that Cummings guy is not real. I mean, so when he said, everybody was like, oh, I mean, that was something that was very interesting. He said that 1%, and that's something he believed that Cummings got 1%. And of the votes, which are interesting though. And again, the CPP, we all know it will, and what hurts is that the ruling party today, they orchestrated the whole CPP being dismantled. They dismantled the CPP for their own, and at the end of the day, they benefited from it because they knew what was happening. They knew how the CPP was being dismantled. They were part of it. At the end of the day, they benefited because this one people say that, oh, Cummings refused to be VP to Burger. I said that's not true because Keff Hassan, in the presence of Ben and Peabody and myself and other people, Keff asked the president today, asking that question in his office. Keff said, Mr. Vice President, have you asked Cummings to be a running mate? And he said no. So that was on record. Then when we met with Mr. Cummings, I asked that question. I said, Mr. Cummings, Mr. Ambassador Barker, actually, he said no. The only thing he told me was, Alex, Liberian people depend on us. And so, but again, Chairman, you can weigh in though.
So I'm not going to stay too long on it because obviously my party is a part of it, was a part of it. But look, I will borrow what comes.
You guys still existing, right? You're still divided?
Why you got divided? We were never divided. A few renegades decided we're going to support UP. Finish. When you think when renegade leaves, the institution breaks apart. No. But let me say this. I'll borrow what Cummings have said, right? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting another result. I don't have time to waste.
He said it today again.
Right. I don't have time to waste on that. I saw all these politicians, I saw all these political actors going to the program. This is what you get every time there is a non-election year. When it's non-election year, everybody claim they won't come together. Everybody claim they won't work together. Everybody claim they won't do things together. Everybody say, and guess what ended up happening? A few people benefit from it, like Dillon benefited from it, like Yombly benefited from it. Most of these people who got re-elected,
Barker benefited from it. That'd be honest.
Most of the people who got re-elected in 2020 would never have gotten re-elected if there was not a collaboration, right? Joseph Boyka would not be president today if the CPP had not bred blew oxygen into the lungs of the Unity Party. They used it strategically. Hey, I give it to them. They something Cummings said today that was very telling, right? Not mastering the mastery of Liberian politics. I think he owns up to it, and he to do. My only point though is I will state here for the record, and I've consistently said this. This is where I think players like Alex Chuchu Jones, Clarence Moneybar, all these young up-and-coming people who have ran for president or have announced in one capacity or the other that they ran for president or they want to run for president, this is where I think they need to get bold. And I will say what I told my friend Henry Costa. I will say it today. It's something private, but I can talk about it now. That water under the bridge. I will say what I told my friend Henry Costa when the CPP started and the COP, because it was the COP protests. It was that June 7 protest that literally put oil in the CPP engine, because they used it as a way to rally the country, to whip the country up. June 7, let's not forget, Darius Dillon announced his candidacy, his campaign for senator on June 7. He named Wilmer Pay during the protest as his campaign manager. Many people forget about that.
Wow.
I remember I told my friend and brother Henry Costa and the rest of the guys in the COP, I said to them, look, you keep the COP as a political action committee. Stay away from endorsing any of these candidates in the CPP, because I can tell you, I can predict that when they go down the line, interests will collide. Somebody will claim that they're more popular. Somebody will claim that they have a right to the presidency. And guess what? They are depending on the young minds and the young capacity within these political parties to keep them alive. Keep this thing in a way that is radical, it keeps their feet to the fire, even threaten them. Go as far as threaten them. That if y'all cannot get your act together, we will even announce a run for the presidency. However that way will work, or whoever that may be, find a way. That's why I said a lot of the young folks now, not so young, because by the time you pass 40-year-old, you know, even in Liberia, we can stay a person young when they're 40. You know, you see 50-year-old people stay chairpersons of youth wings in political parties. It's the only country you see those kind of things happening. Yes, Senegal has a 44-year-old president who ran a campaign for 10 days, just coming out of prison, you know, and stuff like that. I'm saying there have to be, and I don't know if it's going to work, because again, it will have to align with the general population. The population will have to be able to find something that they can latch on and say, you know what, we are fed up. Until that can happen, I think we're just going to continue to have these conversations. But like I said, I think there has to be a radical shift. What happened today? Yeah, okay, it's over now. These two political parties are going to go and they're going to be on their own. But I think they now need a real conversation about who can really challenge the status quo. Is it even worth challenging the status quo? All of these questions can be answered by people who want to get involved and to see the glass as half full and not as empty. But listen, I wish everybody well. I saw the program today, nice speeches, but hey, been down that road, been there, done that. I'm not interested in. I was not. In fact, I cut the program off at a certain point. To be honest with you. So,
I know why you call it off.
well, yeah, I mean, I cut it off.
Ben,
Yeah.
I know why you call it off.
Before Kev wanted to.
Yeah, I want to say something.
But you know, Ben
Yeah.
said something, and I had a discussion with Costa. I said that I believe that had the COP, especially the leaders of the COP, have you guys not endorsed anyone? Have you guys just remain that pressure group? It would have helped us. It would have helped the CPP to stay together, though. If you guys have stayed, because you have been a pressure group to put the leaders of the CPP together. But the minute you guys took sides, everything just went south. Okay.
Yeah, so that's my.
Yeah, I want to make something quick. Quick, Calebo, you were coming. Just 30 seconds. I want to make this thing quick, clear this. You know, most of our folks within the ANC need to understand something. It's not from a hierarchy, but from certain supporters. Let me just answer my good friend Eugenia Ray on this thing. If we have power, if this past government have power to make commies 1% with NEC, we should have power to win the election with less than 20,000 votes, 17,000 votes. So how will we focus on bringing Mr. Cummings down to 1% and we lost by 17,000 votes? It doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. So we coming together as an opposition. We should start to think, because some of those thinking, that the reason why GMB won this election, because certain middle felt that way in the second round. They went and support GMB because of that false narrative that was going around. If we have power, Tomalin, you know that. You sat in room. You know we didn't have power. You know Judge Manawia did not enter NEC. You know that, Tomalin. You sat in the room. You listened to classified information. You know what I'm talking about. You know Judge Weah did never interfere in NEC. You know that. Ben know that. You guys sat and listened to classified information that you cannot say, Ben cannot say, but it never happened. So even the hierarchy from the ANC know that NEC was a different ball game on their own. They know exactly what happened there. It was a different place on their own. They had different agenda. But with time, behind closed door, we would know. Calabo and sitting here, I received call from his sister. What stuff was going on in Nimba? Things were going on. But as a ruling party, how can we say that? People will say, "Oh man, why ain't that NEC? Why ain't do that?" George Weah never interfere with NEC in the entire 6-year presidency. So that notion of which people say we brought Mr. Cummings down, then we lose the election. Alex, man, it makes sense. It makes sense. So we take it. So we brought down to give to Joe Buckeye to put what he named Apiton up. Then Apiton gave it to Buckeye. What sense? People need to start to process things in the way, But Tommy, back to you, my brother. I just want to make.
But anyway, we are waiting the results. I think Dr. Moniba, Madam Beslow, and Mr. Cummings said they were going to investigate, and they will get to the bottom of what happened in the election. We hope they can really get us that outcome. It's important, but it's important though. Honestly, before the next election, we should know what really happened. What caused? Because honestly, that Grace the other day, and promised them money back. And Gonglo, the three people, they really campaign. They went to every hoax and corner of this country. They campaigned. They went to villages.
Neck was doing their
that
own
people have not
business.
gone before.
There is no
And then
way.
to see the
There's
results that
no
they
way
got,
Tommy should
I
get
mean,
that
at
1%
least
of
it would have changed more minds.
Cyrus
But
Moduba. But something
they will find out.
happened in
Well,
something
gentlemen,
that people are not focusing on. They are not focusing on what happened in NEC. NEC was different government on their own with their own interests. Their
well,
own interests.
maybe NEC was fighting by on dissatisfaction with the government. Maybe I'm not saying.
But that's
But
not NEC
I
first.
don't want to get into
That's not
I
NEC.
don't want to get into the weeds of whether some commissioners are not happy, or I'm not going to get into that.
We're not going to go there. NEC did what
Guys, here's what I was saying. Like Ben said, it has happened. What has happened has happened. We need to look forward. But we need to learn from where we have missteps, okay? But there's something usually we should learn from our past. And this lesson, Joshua actually taught us something that we should learn from. I just want to remind us today. In 2005, Joshua ran. I mean, some sedition believed that he actually won. I remember sitting down in a hotel room here in DC with Nathaniel McGay, and he did say a lot of stuff to me. They actually believed that he won. But some powerful, friendly countries accredited him on River Court and say, hey, you're not prepared to take over this country yet. And they have to back off. They believe that he won. In 2011,
which election now?
2005 elections. CDC,
I think that.
Believe that he won. Like that they were robbed of the victory.
2005,
yeah, because of major players in the donor community felt that they were not prepared to take leadership. So in 2011, yes, while we are there, we are in Winston Tomalin. Winston Tomalin had the means to raise a fund, but he did not have the people. Georgia had the people. And Winston Tomalin, at his age, because he's older than Georgia, he said, okay, I can raise this fund, but you have the people. My money is of no use to me. The people are now on my side. They are on your side. Or can we work together? I will do one term, and you then continue when I leave.
You are there?
Right?
That's a good one.
Yes. I don't have to be there. I've been politically active for more than 25 years in Liberia. So I have connections to here. I got so many years.
I see.
Yeah. So I'm confident what I'm saying. So that was the understanding. And it worked. So I think what some in the opposition should know is having money may not be they should learn from Georgia. Georgia had the people, but he also didn't have the money at the time. So there was that marriage and the age and there was some agreement reached. So I think we can build a coalition. We can learn from Georgia and Winston Tomalin negotiation in 2011. That's one way. I'm not saying that's the only way. That's one way we could look at it and learn where the population is and what have you. But I would still come back to few some of the things, some of the comments out of May here. Our country is such that every new government, the same issues that were grappled with maybe 5 years ago, 10 years ago, the same issues there. Because we have political approach to solving every national problem. And that is one of the fundamental challenges in Liberia. Government after government, they are not looking at solving issues. They are looking at what? Having window dressing, just something that will keep the problem, just put a band-aid on it, but then it comes when the other person comes to power. This is a typical example now. Corruption is a major issue. Why is corruption a major issue? Because Unity Party and CDC have been in power for 18 years. They are the two corrupt parties. That's why corruption is still a major issue. So if you look at it, President Bouaka set up Asset Recovery Committee. Is Bouaka Asset Recovery Committee. He said, you can only look at what, 2018, to this period. What kind of short-sightedness is that? What I mean, I was just grappling with this thing over the weekend. Well, guys, for a minute, let me just give you a typical scenario I did in my mind. Say I was Minister of Transport under Unity Party government for 6 years, from 2012 to 2017. Then I got elected as in the House of Representatives. Then, because I really corrupted, I got a lot of money from being transport minister. I didn't invest all that. Because I was sitting down as minister, I was afraid. But I'm now elected official, I start investing it. I'm not getting a lot of money from the Capitol building. And you can't say, how can a lawmaker's salary, your lawmaker's salary can do this? But under the current mandate of the asset recovery, if you can't investigate me, I'm tracing the sources of my fund in 2012. President Boaga said they should want to look at certain period. On financial crimes, it's a network. You follow the flow of the money, it can even take you to 1990. So there should be no limit on that. But it is Boaga's solution to fighting corruption. So as a result, another government come after him will still be dealing with issue of corruption and assets. You know, there are people, like the Councillor Gongo said today, there are people in the government, in Boaga government, who are major owners of trucks. In fact, his current vice president owns 26 houses in Liberia, 26 prime houses, value more than $1 million. He could not, his salary as lawmaker could not have given him that property for the time he been in the legislature, unless he engaged in corruption, like he and Thomas Fala. Okay? The asset recovery is giving them pass under Boaga regime. So Boaga said, let's put a band on this one. When the next person can look at Thomas Fala corruption. That's how we address national issue. Liberia, our leaders have short-sighted approach to solving problems. We're taking loan from World Bank to build a highway from Monrovia to Ganto to the Guinea Bola. Instead of making 4 lane, we said I get 2 lane, one so. Why we didn't go big? Our population will explode. We need bigger trucks. Why we didn't do it? Because Liberians always have short-term approach to addressing issue. And that is characteristic with the educator, the uneducated, the leaders. It's pervasive and it's shameful. That's our country and that's our reality.
Can I get a response,
Well,
if you allow me?
Yeah, Alice coming. Alice will come in. But
Okay.
again, let us say this. Look, you know.
So after Alice, it will be
again,
me, because you can really forget.
Yeah, you know, again.
Really should not speak.
Yeah. I mean, if we can limit our contribution to 2 minutes, will be good. So that we just work in 2 minutes when we're talking, so that everybody can chime in. It makes it
but the thing is
so,
that when one person, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so we'll monitor everybody for 2 minutes at least. But you know, like a lot of things have been said. But on a serious note, again, it comes back to the point where, like, we as Liberians, we should blame ourselves for where we are today. And until we can take it, from them, man. No, but Kelabo, you just talk about the VP. I mean, you said the man 26 houses. You've been no evident, but again, we just say out there. People are asking questions. I mean, how you say it, but again, there's another story. But for me, I would, when I bring it, accusing someone here, I will come with evidence to bring them to the board, because we just throw it out there. It's not good for the country. But again, until we can get serious with our country,
I agree. I got witness to this. So I was, his own people. I got witness to.
Okay, but that is coming.
All right.
So let me just be 2 minutes all guys.
Okay, so let me just point this out carefully. Kelabo said we Liberians, we keep doing the same thing and will never bring change. Look, there's lots of Liberians beyond Alice Cummings, Josh Weah, Joseph Boaga. If you choose to be limited, okay, in your conscience, in your views, that only a Boaga or Cummings or Weah are the only leaders in Liberia, are the only one who have proper ideas, that's your choice. That's your choice. So the problem isn't Liberia as a scope, just like how some of the corrupt media. You choose to only focus on doing campaign on 2 or 3 people, right? That have been around for over a decade, that haven't done anything that's tangible. Then when those people get elected, then you start complaining again. Look, like Alex Cummings said, you can't keep doing the same thing and expect different result. I would tell the Liberian people today, you cannot keep electing the same people and expect change. Period. You cannot keep. Where George Weah could not do in 6 years, he would not be able to do it in 2029. Where Parker did not do in 12 years, he is not capable of doing it. Whether you keep him there for 6 years, 20 years, whatever. You need new minds. You need new ideas. I hear when Liberians always go back to the 70s and the 80s. Look, the world is moving forward. Like Ben said, look at Senegal. Okay, Senegal took 2 young men, Sanko and Faye, from prison, and the people have set up the government in 1 week time. They have all the policy. Okay, they are now re-examining the contracts, the French contract. They're thinking already set up a committee to create their own currency in 3 weeks time. We still waiting for Joseph Boga to give. The government is already set up. In 3 weeks, in 1 week, the first day he was inaugurated, he named a prime minister and asked his prime minister Sanko to form a government. Within 2 to 3 days, the government is set up, complete government.
The people already had a first cabinet meeting.
Wow.
In week.
Yes, because they know what they want. They know what they want.
Meanwhile, President Boga has condemned the strike by Iran. So,
So the problem is, so let me let people. So the problem, the problem here isn't the leaders. The problem is us. The problem is us. We our generation, the younger generation, our future, and the people who are capable. What we're doing, we're sitting down. The same Kelabu who criticizing the Boycott now. But the same Kelabu were behind the Boycott during the campaign, saying that Boycott has the experience. You were not talking about Alex Jones. So you know, in other words, you reap what you sow. I'm not putting you on what it is. They were behind we are. Tomalin, my man Keff Hassan was behind, the Costa. We are young people. Why the young people, the younger generation can work in Senegal, they can't work in Liberia. You got George Lofa on one side. His job is to support Boycott. You got Jake Duke on the other side. His job is coming. Why can't you say, look among your own peers? Yeah. Those people, Ellie King, let me just finish this point. Ellie King, she brought her peers. They failed miserably, including Boycott. Okay, we are King, he brought his peers. They failed miserably. If we were going to deliver, do you think the Liberian people were not going to overwhelmingly support him? He failed in his policies. He failed in the people. I like I was praying for him to succeed, but he was not able to deliver economically. He was not able to deliver in managing the affairs of the country. So this is time where my advice for President Weah, you've done an horrible thing by stepping down in a peaceful transition. Look for young people in your party. I'm not talking about Jefferson Koji. Look for qualified, capable. You want a list? I can send you a list of 100. Let them take over the party and move your party forward. The same thing to Alex Cummings. Retire Alex Cummings. ANC can find a young person that can appeal to the younger generation, that is intelligent, that is intellectual, that is able to proffer solution. You can't keep bringing the same people back and expect a different result. That's my point here today, and I hope, as we go along. Other than that, nothing will change in Liberia.
Okay, before Grace comes in, let me welcome the immediate former chairman of the CPP.
The defunct CPP. During the Liberian Civil War, every time they sign one peace agreement, they can say the defunct MPFL, the defunct
he became the defunct chairman in the last 12 hours of the CPP, but he's the chairman of the Liberty Party and 57 representative from Nima County, and chairman on national security.
But why you get
Honorable Musa Hassan Benedict, welcome. But Grace coming.
But Tommy, I ain't
United. I will ask him. I will ask him. That Grace chairman now will come to the chairman. I will ask him.
Ben, can you just give me a chance to talk, Ben? I beg you. Everybody talk and talk, so you'll give me a chance. Let me talk. All right. So and that's the reason why I go back to this fire. That's the reason why when I read the plans and vision and the execution and how it will happen of Dr. Moniba campaign, when I went to www.moniba2023.com and I read that thing, my eye was stretched because all the incentives that we get in America here, that the same incentives were going to be in Liberia. I had a main schedule. So Joseph Waka, I beg you, send your fire people to go read Dr. Moniba plan for Liberia. He got prevention and education, public education, prevention on measures, campaign, community outreach on fire. So you can teach the people the thing that happening to the people in the country with the fire thing is not necessary. It can be something can be done. But because you're not prepared and you're never put out the education for the people who are in your position, who don't even know what they're doing, that's what people suffering today now and happening to the Speaker of the House, which we are very sorry, but it happened because why? We went back to the simple thing. Because the people voted for you, they ran campaign for you, whether they know. You say, we are. The city we are, they putting people in position where even know that the A from the both from Mama used to say. So I just that's the reason why. Go if you want land, I beg you. Y'all go to www.monipa2023.com. The main thing is stay there. Y'all go start reading and start getting yourself ready.
The website
still up. Country.
The website still up.
But Grace, but let me say this. But let me say this, Grace. If you look at all the Liberian political parties, the manifesto, everything, the whole stuff, all the same. They got the same ideas.
That's not true. You see, Tomalin, I pardon that. That's not true.
No,
you never look at mine. You never look at mine. You never look at Dr. Moniba.
Okay, but
it was public. No, I was aspiring. No, but I was aspiring. I back out of the race in November. But I'm public. I'm public. I was on the C2 FM. I had interview on all the stations, most of the stations in Liberia, including the the show on Truth FM, and I outlined my plan, and I had widespread support. I did not have any support from the establishment. You guys, you guys were more bent on the old, bringing back the old, but the young people in Liberia were jubilating up to this day. So please go. I will tell you my platform so you can read it as well, and then don't say that they are all the same. That one thing in my platform, I said that no government official will make over $3,000. I said that. I said we'll get cash funds to the elderly, those who are unemployed. I said we'll set up 30 corporations in Liberia for employment that Liberians can own stocks in, and that can boost the. I think Musa Bede talked about it on the last budget thing. But you have to focus on the economy, and I was the guy who was focusing on the economy, growing the budget, investing heavily in the private sector, opening runways around the country, and stopping government corruption, stopping people from making more than $20,000, $15,000. I said nobody, including the president, will make more than $3,000 under my administration.
Okay. So let me.
Before I go to the chairman,
you just Google it. In fact, let me help you. I've written something. If you just Google my name, you see not only my policy.
I will announce my run for the president.
Can I learn?
Okay.
Can I please say you were
now? Yeah, Graceland.
So that is for that. So I just advising the program. Don't go to
the website is still up and it's very impressive.
Dr. Moniba website is very, very impressive. I went in politics. I read behind that thing. I would like to tell that I said law and Liberian could just see, but you know, most of all we don't read.
Website doesn't cut it, Grace.
But my brother,
Your
please,
track
please.
record cut it.
I beg you, he got a track record. He has to.
Let him protect. Let him finish. Let him finish. Let him finish. Yeah, I want for the great champion tomorrow. We're going to next month.
So
when
it comes to Cummings, right? I just felt that the people they underserved Mr. Cummings. And most of the reason why were the followers that were behind him. Although Mr. Cummings said Baka never asked him to be vice president, he never told Baka say he was going to be president. But they're fighting on social media where they supporters them. Oh, Mr. Cummings will never be vice president. They brought out that whole thing. So when it came to that the Cummings people that want that destroy that whole saying that Mr. Cummings was going to be VP to Baka. That whole stuff, it was an argument. None of the political leaders they ever said it, but their supporters, then the UP people and the Cummings people, they ran with that thing. Cummings can never be on a Baka. Baka can never be on a Cummings. And that's the whole thing that mess up a lot of stuff with those people. And then the whole problem with the CPP, what Baka, he just a born user. That Papa just use people from place to place. He don't take it by time. He don't take it by time. He get a group of people. He brought him up. He used it for certain point. He point down. Then he bring other group of people. He used them. Cummings were in the trial. He damaged Cummings when it came to the CPP. And I was very upset for that for Mr. Cummings. I will tell you. I don't think he was treated fairly. I'm just a fair person, so I will say it. So the Papa Umpa had using skills. That one of the things he get a degree in using. He know how to use people, and he did that well. And what else? My teeth and I know.
Well, you can't even remember why I did it.
Yeah, because when I've been talking to people, yeah, jumping in my jaw. You know, when you got the urge to speak, then they just start talking. Then it just take away from you. But that's why I wanted to say, you know, it's not a shame thing for you to go and learn from somebody. It's obvious now that this government was never prepared. I don't know how fair they came to Senegal order for setting everything in line for them. I want when people keep way ahead of time. They still 14 years in, they may even made 100 days here, this and that. And the government has not even really been settled because he hire people, he fired them. He appoint people, they don't even go for confirmation. So everything just had to scatter. And that's the reason why we do not need people like this in leadership. Because right now the Papa is an old man and the people behind him, maybe they don't even know how to carry on his vision. Only a man with his vision and his plan will be able to execute that vision and that plan. And for him to execute that vision and that plan, he has to be alert and in that age range. What we were just saying here. And anything after 70 is retirement time. Go play with your grandchildren there, sing Rima Rama Rose, your pocket full of rose, you know, dance with them. That's the time for you to do that. That's just exactly what I want to say.
Okay, Chairman Ability, you know, it's good you came to join us tonight. But a lot of things that I would just push on you first. Okay, first of all, let me say thank you. The speaker recognized what you did last night. Your company with the fire truck that played a major role in helping to calm that fire down. Thank you so much. And I didn't know you had a fire truck, man. I heard it last night. This morning I was shocked, but that's good though. I want to say thank you again. A lot of things that
small man.
Almost 100 days, right? The budget has not been passed yet. You guys still got a budget. It has not been passed. And then I heard today there was issue about some drug issue in the country again. Are you on national security? Maybe you will touch on it. Some issue about drug issue that entered the country again, and so forth. And then lastly, today you successfully ended. I mean, at the first party I see that they have done it though. When election over, everybody go a separate way. But today you guys officially ended your campaign. Your came a part today and said, well, we play our part, other than can go their separate ways. Yeah, can you weigh in all this stuff that's happening and then what you do with the fire issue? What's your take on everything that will happen?
Good evening to everybody. You know, let me just before I even answer some of the questions, many you have to repeat some of them. But let me just to piggyback on Jack, what Jackie was saying. Just imagine if Mr. Cummings had accepted to be Joseph Boakai vice president. Just imagine with all the ideas and everything in that man, and sitting down and not capable of doing anything with the kind of chaos that's going on here. He would have felt that he made a dumb decision. He's, the vice president uh, has no authority over the president. In fact, when you attempt to assert yourself, it is seen as though you're trying to overshadow the president. So I think Mr. Cummings, uh, it was a good decision that he wanted to be president and not vice president, because he knows that the buck stops with the president. I do agree with you that some of us that were supporting Mr. Cummings did not help the situation. Our overzealousness, sometimes overreacting. And, there were some people playing that game between Mr. Cummings and Mr. Bwaka. And the Cummings team and the Bwaka team were always fast to catch that bait. When there's a news of Mr. Cummings and Mr. Bwaka meeting, or if they meet, those who did not want it to happen will go on Facebook and say, Cummings going to beg Bwaka to be his vice president. Then Cummings people get aggravated and say, oh no, you see, we told the man not to go for that meeting. You see, go now, you see, Bwaka. And then it was planned. Everything in the CPP was planned. It was planned to destroy that organization. That's why I said today that they will destroy it. They are in power now. Let's see what they will do with it. The Liberian people looking up to them, but they destroy it. But hopefully they will deliver. I hope they will deliver. But we're not giving them an easy path. Some of them, they help us, because sometimes they say some of us were not talking, because we are president and we are relationship, we are thank God, we are not partaking. And we were not parliamentarian like for myself today. Not only I'm going to be critical, but I do have the authority to call them to order, every one of them. If they so it is what it is. But today was a good day. For the first time in as much as far as I can remember, people have started something and landed that craft. Peacefully. We shook hands, we ate together today, and we committed to opposition unity. It's a tall order. Opposition unity is a tall order, but I consider this to be a good beginning. This is a civilized way of getting relationship on and off. I also said today that I wanted to make it very clear that the Liberty Party remains an opposition party. It has absolutely nothing to do with the ruling party. Nothing, absolutely. Absolutely nothing. I want to make it very clear.
How you get your answer?
Yeah, there are absolutely nothing
okay.
to do with the ruling party. We have no plan. I'm chairman of this party. When it's time for election, I'll be elected chairman again. If I want to go to third time, I'll be elected chairman again.
Oh, but when I wait, what I'm
Then, if you try it, I will send you to the place. So don't try me. So,
Musa, but Mr. Moderator, let me come in on this. Musa,
well, let me answer the question.
Musa, this is serious. This is serious. It's a breaking news.
I'm sure you're aware, though. The director of the drug agency said he didn't know about the drug issue. I think he said his deputy was aware, but he didn't inform him. So what's going on, Musa?
Well, Musa, don't know. Let me explain.
But yeah, let Keff explain it now.
Musa, I send the pictures to you. These drugs came in the country today, right? The AB Kroma, who is the DA boss, say he doesn't know anything about it. You seen a tug of war with his deputy Fadiga. That Fadiga is supposed to be in charge. The drug is on the loose right now, and there's a big fight. The drugs is in because Musa. The reason I'm bringing it, you went public with your personal and situation, and drugs are on the loose right now. in Liberia, nobody don't know. The DA boss say he don't know. He have issue with his deputy. He and his deputy they are not speaking, and trouble, fight. There's a tape that they were arguing that I'm trying to get. There's a lot of stuff going on. So right now, AB Kroman said he doesn't know where the drugs are in Liberia. So the drugs is on the loose around. So Musa, you're the chairman of national security. It's up to you. I send you the picture.
Yeah, I've seen it. Kev, the way I perceive government to be is that you have to try not to be seen as interfering. The news I just broke. Normally, the DA is not operating in isolation. There are agencies of government that can intervene, like the Ministry of Justice, uh, uh, the NSA, the Executive Marshal, Ministry of State, and the Presidency. So the news just broke today. I think for the legislature, our job is not to be operational. While the news is breaking, and there are agencies of government that have at this time the opportunity to intervene, we cannot intervene at this time. But we are following the news. We expect that the next step will be for the next agency, which is the Ministry of Justice, to go into this. It is when all of these are not happening, then we come in as the people's representative. You don't. I don't want to be. Yeah, I don't want to be in that space where I'm seeing I'm trying to do the Minister of Justice work or trying to.
Correct. Yes.
So we're following the story very. I do get national security briefing every day, and we have all of the information that we need to. But we're watching. I've made some calls. Again, Kev, sometimes it's not just to make yourself or make the public feel that you have the oversight, you have authority. Sometimes you just call the person who you think should be in action right now that there are issues at FDA. Instead of you being there, summoning people, we are not the executive branch of government. So our role, we have to calculate it properly so that when we finally act, normally we act with the individuals at whose doorsteps the buck stop. So at this point, we let it flow. It is worrying that drugs has entered the country. Well, hey, the fact that there's a piece of whatever it is in a bag wrapped doesn't also necessarily mean that it's drug. So I don't know what it is. My intelligence is that it is drug, but thank God the thing has been reported. Now, those things that have been reported cannot be hidden anymore. We've zoomed it. We've collected even the tag numbers, so it cannot be tampered with. We're doing our trace at this point. We're doing our trace on it. The drug center in Accra, we're also checking up with them. We're trying to find out where this cargo came from, who it came with, whether it was what they call cargo that was left behind, because some of these things are done deliberately that way, and then it's called delayed cargo. Whatever it is, I want to leave it as it is, and but I assure you that we will keep our ears on the ground to make sure that whatever it is, we find out it is what it is.
Yeah. So, moderator, continue. I think the chairman seemed like he had the intelligence on it, and so I think he's in the know of it, but he was pretty tight-lipped until we will bring it back.
No,
I think the
the
chairman
chairman
got
is right though. The chairman,
a complete intelligent.
the chairman. There are three branches of government. The chairman is
Yeah,
is
he's
from
right.
the legislative
He's right.
side, the executive.
Chairman is right.
So, if
I have a
you're
question
fair
for the
with it, saying
chairman.
that he's so. Okay, go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
have a question for the chairman. Musa
Yeah, go ahead.
Bilede, Chairman Bilede. Yeah. Chairman Bilede.
Yes,
I
sir.
see you as one of those new representatives that is very outspoken. I listen to you on Spoon Network concerning the budget and so forth, which I think is very good. We don't have lawmakers that engage the public as much, so it's a good thing. I must commend you for. Um, but my question to you, and thanks for the opportunity to be here, is that what is your agenda other than holding the government accountable in terms of the economics of the country, in terms of how the country is going to be managed to improve the young people's lives? You've done very well, but a lot of Liberians are suffering, especially the young people. They don't have any source of income. They don't have any means, any hope. What are some of the things that you, as a representative, are planning on your agenda in order to change that situation in your capacity? And do you have a website for which people can go and follow you, those who don't have the opportunity, and maybe even engage you, ask questions? Thank you.
Yes, actually, I don't have one website. I have two. I have the Ability Movement, which is my political organization, and I have Ability Development Foundation. I think there's a third one coming up, which is Representative Musa has ability
Right,
to.
that's what I was asking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, we have all those, and they're working. Um, Besides that, you can clearly see my agenda. Number one of the worst injustice that we have committed as a country is against the diaspora community. These people, without them, without the diaspora community, there's no country, there's no Liberia. Their cash movement, the burden they take from government, almost 50% of the family in Liberia is supported by people from the US with a $50 to $100 per family, $25, $100. These are Liberians. About 50% of them left Liberia either for war or for lack of opportunities. They've gone out there, they've earned quality education, opportunity to commute between America and Liberia, and therefore create a middle class by doing businesses and doing things that will remove focus from government and a little bit attention towards the private sector. And yet we pass laws that discriminate against these people.
Somebody got noise in their background.
Maybe that.
Somebody to mute. Is that Kelaboo?
Yeah, maybe that.
Yeah, that you, Kelaboo. You're not funny again.
I'm muted.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So at the end of the day, we, instead of celebrating them, instead of saying, look, take America for example. It takes almost everything to be an American citizen. We should be celebrating our brothers and sisters that have gone out there and become Americans. Here, we use it to discriminate against them. We say they cannot use their expertise to be officials of government, to be representatives, to be president, vice president. The first thing that I did, that we need to close that gap. So I moved within the first 1 month, I submitted a bill that will remove every restriction on diaspora Liberians. Give them the right to do everything as we are doing here. I am very hopeful that tomorrow or Tuesday, the House of Representatives will pass on that bill. and then it will be forwarded to the Senate. This would be a major milestone for what we want to do to bring Liberians from all walks of life together. If your son, can you imagine your son, your brother, your sister goes out there? They think every one of them here praying for, go there and not only educate themselves, but become citizens of those country, a vast country. And then you use your laws, not even the Constitution, your laws, to block them from participating. But you happy to take their money, you happy to take their contribution. You guys from across the world contribute more than 25% of the cash flow in this country every year. Without the Western Union, the money grants, some banks will not even operate. Guess what? They will not have money to move from America here. What you give stays over there, and they give what they got here, and that keeps our economy turning. So the cost of moving money physically from America is almost eliminated because of the action of the diaspora community. So I'm hoping that this act will change that, give them more access, make all the same, and let's make our election. The second thing that I've done is to call on my colleagues to enforce the 25% Liberian Business Association law. The House of Representatives immediately passed on that and sent it to the Budget Committee. This will allow this year 25% of every procurement by the government of Liberia must go to Liberia. We will monitor that. We work with the Liberian Business Association to make sure that that goes to Liberia. So we're on that. We've also moved to another step. As I speak to you, I'm just coming from a meeting. We have, met with some partners that we're going to start a cassava manufacturing plant in Nimba County, in my district, $1 million. Hopefully by July, that plant should be in place to manufacture cassava. Cassava is one of the easiest plants to grow because it is a tough plant. It can grow in almost any climatic condition. So we have people now that have, we sought from China that will come to our country and help us to plant mechanized farming to produce hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of cassava, package it, and then ship it out of the country. It will give us a job. We're not going to run a plantation style. The land that we are getting, I'm going to have a community a kind of farming. I'm not going to go and say, "You're giving your land, let me buy it." So when we find the land, which we have found already, we're going to tell the community, this land, we're going to do partnership. You're going to get a percentage or whatever that we make here. And then from that percentage, we'll build schools, we'll build clinics, and we'll empower the community through financial empowerment, through scholarship to their children that will go abroad and learn. So there are things that we're doing that will define what our agenda is. One of the things is that you don't just sit now in the House of Representatives and think that change is going to come right there by talking. No, we are also doing it physically. We're enabling our people in our district to move freely. We've cleared the whole district. By the end of this May, there will be no part of our district where vehicle cannot move. So that will give the opportunity to farmers to bring their goods and services to the market. That will give our people to move from one place to another with ease. And that will also reduce the cost of transportation, which put more money in their pocket so that they can be able to do other things. We're working closely with our legislative budget bureau to make sure the two hospitals, because I'm one of the districts where I have two cities. So two hospitals, we're going to have reasonable funding in the budget for them. And also I'm using my, whatever money I'm told we got $45,000. So I need to buy 2 ambulances for the 2 cities. And the 2 ambulances, I just got an invoice. It costs about $130,000. So we're going to buy the 2 ambulances and make sure that our people get access. Pregnant women, you know, we have immediate access to good medical care. We have immediate sick people. We have immediate access to ambulance services to the hospital. So we're not just tapping at, you know, the level of Monrovia in our district. We're working every day, and I'm happy, my brother, that I live in my district. I only come in Monrovia to attend plenary session Thursday evening. No way, unless there's something extremely important. Since January 2024, I have not been in Monrovia on the weekend. I'm in my district every weekend. I come back sometime Monday. I come back sometime Sunday. So I'm happy. I'm really happy. I'm doing that. People love it, so they don't have to wait for 3-4 months to see me. And I love being with them. The stress in Monrovia is too much. I enjoy being with people. So you know, your room was not built in one day, but little by little, you know, we're trying to redefine representation. Representation, we're trying to redefine it. We're trying to make sure that there's connection between the governed and the governors. So, you know,
If I can just follow up, Chairman, and I will retire. But thank you for the explanations and the answers. They're quite exciting. I will support you on those 2 policies. The one of getting Liberians in the diaspora, not just in the U.S., but
Wow.
anywhere in the world. So
That
you
is
have my
good. That
full
is good.
support on
Name
that.
yourself.
Okay.
Wow.
And I do agree with you on a lot of things. So, but I will support you on that. I think it's a good initiative. I will support you also on the fact of your co-op you setting up. But I will stress that the idea that individuals in the House of Representatives are giving personal donation or charity, I'm totally against that. That has brought led to a lot of corruption in our society where people go to build hospital, to build schools, and they say I'm doing it to get elected. I will hope that this will be structured, right, as a separate, independent co-op where it will not be Musa Belede, the one who's controlling it and managing it, bring in, Liberians.
what you referring to? You mean the
The
farm?
Kasawa, the Kasawa, the
No, no,
Kasawa
no,
plan.
no. It's a private business, my brother. It's not a
Okay.
government. It's not. It's a private business.
Okay.
I'm
So
going
then my
into
question would
farming.
be, then
I'm
my
going
question
into
would be, why
farming.
don't you use your office as a representative to allocate funds in the budget to establish agriculture projects such as those, not just for your district, but for all of Liberia. That's why you're a representative. We don't want you to do your private thing. We want you to
Look,
use your office to pass legislation that would encourage what you call development
have
and
you read the
agriculture
budget?
projects.
Have you read the budget?
I perused it.
It's a trash.
Okay.
There's nothing anybody can do with it. It's a complete disaster.
Oh,
It's unusable. So I'm sorry. I would love to do what you're
oh.
saying, but it's a trash. The budget. I don't even know how to describe it. But it has no ambition. It has no vision. It creates a vicious cycle of everything. All right.
You call our budget
Uh,
trash. Wow.
and therefore, my brother, if you say that you're gonna change the country, if you say CDC cut people pay, and you told them that you're gonna be in power and you're gonna change that, if you say that you are going to rescue the economy, thereby inducing, the economy, and if you present a budget that does none of these, how does the budget does not represent the arrest? There's absolutely nothing in the budget that support the arrest agenda. Nothing. So let me explain to you. When you put health and agriculture, all of us you will choose health. In my district, where in early leave time, the hospital was giving 250,000. The CDC government allotted 50,000 to the hospital, and the United Party came and did the same thing. You understand what I'm saying?
I'm following you.
So my point to you, there's no ambition in the budget. So where do I get money from? The budget. Right now, the budget has a deficit of 25 million. Because while the budget was being prepared and while the Ministry of Finance projected certain things, the president issued, I think what this thing, executive order that took away 25 million out from the budget. They're scrambling right now how to fill that gap. So again, this government had an agenda for agriculture. You should be asking Joseph Barker and his people, where is your agricultural agenda? Because remember, if I want, this is a $1 million United States dollar, just the machinery is $1 million. The farm itself is another maybe 1.5 and 2 million. So you're talking about initial investment of 3 million. If you are asking me to make any suggestion to do any agricultural project in my district, you're saying that 72 other people will be entitled to that same thing. Where? In what budget? So what I'm doing is to look for private entrepreneurs and bring to my community and tell them, say, look, do business with these people. They're not going to buy your land. They're not going to own your land. You and them will do partnership. You get a percentage of what they get here and you use it outside of government. Okay? So therefore, that's all I can do for my people today. If you ask me that I'm doing donation, I think you have a misunderstanding of what you got donation. If I'm entitled to $45,000 and I decided to add another maybe $80,000 to it to buy two ambulances for my people, how does that hurt them? I'm not campaigning. I've ran a campaign, I won the election. Campaign is at least 5 years away. But I made promises to them. I told them that when they make me representative, their life will not be the same. The government that we all depended on, because they voted for that government, to say the same thing that I said, that we work together to change their life, that very government has decided to do otherwise. I cannot follow that government. I cannot defer the people vision and the change of their life. Like the government has done, they've deferred the improvement of the people's life with no explanation.
They
Nothing
lied.
to say. Nothing
What
to
the-
say.
They lied. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
nothing.
Musa, I disagree with you on the point of your
Eric,
You have
leadership.
the right
I
to
ask
disagree
question
with me.
too. Terminate.
No, I mean,
I have a
just
question
give me a
to
second. Just give me a second
Yeah,
here because he said something that I did not say, right?
I ask
Just give me, yeah,
questions.
yeah, but he
I
referring
need
to what I said, and I just wanted to clarify. You can ask a question, I will sit back. Musa,
As a
let me
last
just
question,
finish you. Okay.
then
Musa, and nobody said that people who are privileged like yourself or even me should not help, should not be charitable. People should do that. What I'm saying here, you represent a party. You campaigned for several people over the years, including Yomble, Kanga Lawrence, Darius DeLong. You funded them, you did all these things. They are in government. I'm saying that part of your responsibility is to make sure that the budget or the government works for the people. We cannot keep going in this thing where somebody like Toma Fala or Musa Bilede keep taking money out of his pocket. You have a government, so you're wherever way you figure that out. With the Joseph Boga is not just the government. The speaker, he's part of the government. Those are your colleagues. You all work together to put a bill for agriculture. That's what I meant. And thank you so much for Kennedy answering my question. And I will give it to my colleagues.
All right. So,
honorable ability.
Okay.
Yes,
Grace,
ma'am.
you want Grace
so
will
who
come.
won? Me or Grace?
Yes.
Yeah,
As I told you
Grace,
before,
yeah,
I'm
Grace,
very,
go.
very much much impressed with your agenda, especially when it comes to the dual citizenship. And I told you that I support you wholeheartedly when it comes to that. I will probably be a millionaire soon. I will ready to donate some money to you for that cause because it's a
Thank
very
you.
honorable thing that you are doing.
Did you say
And
you're about to be a millionaire?
soon, yeah.
Oh,
Of
okay.
course.
Just want to make sure that.
And
Of
it's a very
course.
honorable thing, and that's the reason why I put
At least
honorable
we'll
to
be
your name.
friends of the millionaire.
And that's the reason why I don't call none of your colleagues honorable. I don't want to call them that. I refuse to call them that. But I personally will put honorable to your name just because of that agenda in your agenda for the people or your people for your country and also the people of Liberia, the diaspora Liberians. But one thing you struck in, it's not really a question, but I just wanted to say something on that, especially when you spoke about you had a heart to speak about the kind of money that we sent to Africa, especially we Liberians, we sent to Liberia and how it has helped the economy and everything. And there's a law being passed recently that a tax law that non illegal immigrants now will have even double taxes on sending money to any parts of the world. And then they're going to add taxes to our money who are legal immigrants or legal, Americans that are sending money to Africa. Or I think a percentage of taxes will be added to that. So, the things that we do for the country that the people really don't realize. And for you to be in Liberia, because most people live in Liberia, they don't give a hint about this. They are lawmakers, they are in it. People like Darius Dillon, the people did everything for that man when he got ready. Liberians were nothing to him, especially the diaspora Liberians. He fought against dual citizenship. He did not want us to have that because he felt inferior that we came to this country and we prepare ourselves. He don't want the competition. He don't want the competition with our children. So he said we shouldn't have rights in the country to take certain positions. But for you to stand up for us, I applaud you, and I really like what you are doing. I will pray for your agenda to come true, especially when it comes to the diaspora, the dual citizenship. And I will not forget you when I announce within a few weeks from now to donate to your Ben. Look at Ben.
Well, capability you have fought. I mean, I follow your work. In fact,
No, but Peabody is my time though.
I've driven to Sacred Pier and I follow your work and I see what you've done in that area. And I think that's the only way our people can get the help they need if you go outside the box. Now look at a government who is having $25 million out of the budget is over. They have a shortage. How they going to get that money? So I think that's the best thing you are doing, and you are showing it, but also including the diaspora Liberian as well, and giving them opportunity to come home and really bring some development to the country. And I'm glad that you're one of many who can see that the contribution that Liberians outside of the country are making. I think that speaks volume. And I just want to encourage you that anything we can do on this side, even in small ways, to help your people in that village, whether it's medical supply or a different thing that we can do, we can come in that area. And I appreciate all you do, Chairman.
Thank you. I'll be coming out there in May. As soon as we close, I'll be out there, promoting the bill from the Senate side. I think we have a lot of goodwill from the Senate. And then we want to pass this so that, before July, our people can have freedom. And Grace, thank you. You're a critical voice. So to have someone like you to acknowledge the positive thing that people do, it inspires me. I want to tell you thank you. We need to do more, much more. I mean, but together. And like you said, you can be a millionaire. Grace, I'm sitting down on Fifth Street right now. I'm looking at the water. Across that water is America. I mean, literally, right across the water. From here to the United States of America is 9 hours. You land somewhere in either Washington, D.C. or New York. We don't have a plane or ship that plant that road. This is the closest country to America in Liberia. We have over maybe 100,000 or 300,000 Liberians in America. This law is destroying Liberia's opportunity to modernize. Liberians could be in America over there, taking everything that America had and transferring it to Liberia and doing their business from there. Liberia could be modernizing our school systems because a lot of educators are over there. Liberia could be modernizing our transportation system, our everything, our educational system, our agriculture system. We could be repeating after America in everything that we're doing. Instead, we made law to prevent you and you from coming to this country and going stay in line somewhere in Minnesota or Washington to say you're getting visa to come to there. It's shameful. But I'm happy that we crossed that now, and I'm happy that we have the necessary support in the Senate. Tomorrow, the House is going to vote on it. We expect to be positive. We expect the bill to pass in its totality, and we expect that the House will concur and it will go to the president and he will sign. And Liberia, and the code name for that bill is once a Liberian, always a Liberian. Those who made that law forgot to know that the Constitution said your citizenship is your inalienable right. I'm not a student of law, but when they use the word inalienable, it means that inseparable. It means that your right as a natural born citizen of the country, there's nothing that can separate you from that. But I'm thankful that we're here and we're going to move. We're going to move this country one by one. Today I welcome the chairman of CDC. I say welcome to opposition life again, and we all laugh about it. So we're moving. We've learned the lesson the hard way. I know sometimes you guys are saying young people. One of the things that we have not done and we need to do is to study our people. We don't study our people. We just refuse to study them. So election comes, we impose on them what we think. And then when they go to the ballot, they do exactly what they want to do. And then we are shocked at the result. We need to begin to study them, what they want. That's what I did. The people need for you to believe that you are like them. You are like them in so many ways. There are places I slept that people ask me not to go there. There are places I went, people say I should not go there. I said, if I don't go there, how can these people feel that I feel them? How can these people feel them? So, we're gonna change Liberia. We should not give up on Liberia. And thank you, for all that you do. I know we had a big argument the other day on the war club, but thank God the war club is going to where it's supposed to be. And
you sign.
Yeah, I did. And
and history will remember you. History will remember you.
I was signing. That only Grace. I was thinking.
That Grace you were thinking about.
But she didn't call me. She should have called me to say thank you, Chairman, because that day was whole thing was tough. I mean, she was furious. I said, "Hey, God." But we just wanted to make sure the Senate did well with it, because all we wanted, Grace, is those things that we didn't touch in the House. Because if you don't touch it, somebody will pick it up. And we met, the NIMA caucus, we discussed it, we look at it. We look at the pros and the cons. We look at what we're going to lose in the Bayans that die, in the Lutheran Church, in the, how you call it, the Duporo massacre, in the Kata camp, in the different places. We look at Doki, we look at Jackson Doe, we look at the so many, we look at the fact that nobody lost people equal to Nima Kante. So it was in our interest, and we moved forward, and we did it together, collectively. All of us stood behind one another, we signed it. And we are happy that our senator also signed it. So Nima Kante plays his part, and we moved. So the ball is the ball is where it should have been in the first place. On Joseph Barker decks. There where it should have been. You know, all these things we do here are just semantic. He has the power to establish the war crime code because Liberia is a party to the International Code of Justice. It doesn't need all, but thank God, if we are an excuse, that excuse is gone. So we are where we are.
Why? So Liberty Party ready? Ben, Liberty Party will be the next ruling party. Eh? Why see the chairman moving?
We are going to.
So Chairman Belter, Honorable Belter,
Liberty Party is coming.
Hey, Chairman Belter.
I think Liberty Party is here. So let me start this way. Let me thank the chairman and the honorable for coming. We have been talking on the phone. We haven't seen each other on the video link like this. So I'm quite happy that we can have a video link conversation this evening. And let me also mention that I'm happy that you did sign the War on Economic Crimes bill. If you notice, in the past 2 or 3 weeks, I have not called you because I saw you went on the tirade of campaign against the War on Economic Crimes Code. And I told Tom, I said, I think the chairman is not listening to us. So, I mean, I was really disappointed when you started to campaign against it, but I'm happy you signed. For you to publicly say that you signed, I'm happy.
Carol, I will not let you end that statement.
Yeah.
I would not. History will not judge you fine.
Wow.
There is no instance where I campaign against the war crime code. Never.
You are pointing out all the pitfalls.
No. I didn't.
No, what was not done?
The record is there. I said, you cannot bring a document to me 3 o'clock on Monday and say I should sign it on Tuesday. I was not going to do that.
That I agree with you.
Yeah, but
when you appear on Spoon, you said a lot. I follow you.
Yes, but everything I said was addressed by the Senate. Again, go back and read it. I did not. I said there were laws on book that would have thrown a dagger into the war crime code if we just proceed without mentioning those laws. And then we did not set a boundary as to where we are going to start investigating the crime against humanity. The Senate did that. They specifically said from 1979. So they were very clear. So, look.
But that's what the TRC did. TRC from 1979.
No. The TRC is, again, without this resolution, the TRC report would not have been effective because the Supreme Court struck down parts of the TRC report. And this is what I said. So what the Senate did was to remedy all of the legal concern. And the Senate didn't act like that. Some are in the back, work with them to make sure that it comes with our concerns being taken care of. I never campaigned against. Grace and I spent 15 minutes arguing on this war crime code. As far as she was concerned, she wanted me to sign it unconditionally. And I said, what I wanted to deal with, if that is there, I will sign. When it was there, I signed. So if you say that I campaigned against it, I did not.
So
never.
I think it's a choice of words. So I saw you did all that, and that was my choice of words. So let's pass that one. The good is it ended well. So on the question of, I listened to you, Kine. You are doing very good for your district, but I have few suggestions for you and maybe a few comments on the ambulance issue. You know, we're just debating this issue before you came in. You know, most time politicians during election or even after election will go to community and community say, hey, we need school, we need clinic. And it's easier for them to build this clinic, to put this structure down for them. Without taking into consideration, do you have someone trained from this community who is a nurse or who is a teacher who can come and manage this? Or is this where government Ministry of Health or Ministry of Education is prepared to put a structure to look in all that and go maybe back to Education, Ministry of Health, and say, so village need a clinic or a school. Do you have plan for this place? We don't do that. Sometimes we just pull a structure. As a result, they don't really serve the community well. So on the question of the ambulance, I would suggest, and I believe I'm not suggesting, assuming that you haven't done that, I hope that you focus first on capacity, that there should be capacity within the two health centers to manage and know how to take care of patient on the ambulance. Because even here in the US, the way you take a sick person and put on ambulance, you are trained to do that. If you don't know how to do it, you could actually kill the person while trying to care for the person. So we need that kind of capacity building before you spend all that tens of thousands of dollars, from your high-end money and put it there with the hope that you're saving lives. But those who working on the ambulance will actually be killing lives, So that would be one advice to you. And I believe you are taking that. The other one is a cassava thing. The idea of cassava is a very good idea. But your idea and motivation is to put money in a pocket, in family, in the different homes. So having a communal fund is good. But I think we should have like outstation approach, like how Firestone, all of rubber buyers go and buy rubber from small farmers. I think if we have that approach, maybe you have the factory if they're in Seglepier at a central point, but then all the 38 towns in your district do like extension awareness on this. That look, in the next 4 months or 5 months, we're gonna have a cassava plan here. We want people to go into cassava farming, so that and we'll buy your cassava, you will not sell it to nobody. So if there are maybe 50 farmers in one village, and you are buying from them, that's income for 50 families in our village. In that way, you're putting more money in family, coffers. That would be one approach. And our other approach could be maybe a central location where you planting a cassava also, right? Those are mutual. You can do both. You can do both together. They are not antithetical to each other, and the mutual benefit would be greater because we are individualistic society. What comes to us, we have much more control over it as opposed to what is for the group. So I will push on that. But on the question of raising money, I know we in the diaspora send a lot of money. In fact, not even for any other thing, this year alone, since January, the money I have sent to Liberia on death issue, as I've never had to tell people how my sympathy throughout my life, except this year. In less than half of the year, I've said how my sympathy probably more than 12 times. I've never done that, in 1 year in my life. I don't know what's going on in that country, but you guys are the leader. So I would say, honorability, I will make this suggestion to you. You are a national leader. You are not just a leader for District 7. So ArcelorMittal, all of the mineral development agreements and the ones to come, I think you guys should learn from other countries like Botswana, Burkina Faso, other countries, to have a new approach to protecting our natural resources. The old approach, the World Bank IMF approach, is a colonial approach that we'll just get royalty, 4%, or this one, or royalty will be paid at the port of exit when they take the product to take out of the country. And sometimes we don't even have the mechanism to determine the quantity and the value. Like ArcelorMittal, it's a captive man. They're selling to themselves because they are steel company. Okay? So they lower their price and make more money, and the country is losing. So we have the natural resources. What other countries have done, progressive countries have done, is to say, hey, we have the natural resources, you have the equipment and the finance, you bring it, we are getting maybe 40% of this. We're not going for 4%. we're getting 40%, you're getting 60%. Or we getting 48%, you getting 52%. And if you push that to ArcelorMittal today, ArcelorMittal, the reserve in Nema and not getting someone do one, ArcelorMittal cannot possibly run from there. Even if they threaten that it will shut down, they cannot, because they know how much is there. Okay, so for me, those are causes I think I would propose that you be very loud on that, because it's hurting the country. And if you take such a fight, I know your fighting spirit, it is going to take the country by storm. Let's fight for that. What's happening in Kinjal? We have different stories. I've spoken to experienced geologists and mine engineers. Kinjal, the guys they have so far taken almost $1 billion worth of gold from Liberia, and what they pay to the country is nothing. Okay? We can reverse that. You know.
Okay.
So that would be my.
Thank you, Karabo. On the ambulance.
Honorable Musa, let me end on this. So I'm making a proposal that on the cassava, you say District 7 Cassava Initiative this year, you know, and that'd be the broader title for that, District 7 Cassava Initiative, you know. And
thank you, Karabo. First, let me tell you thank you. You always, reach out to me with nothing but positive suggestions, and I thank you for that. Even during the middle of the election, you give me a lot of, advice. You give me a lot of indicator. You did a lot of free, studies, research, and advised me on the trends in the district. I want to tell you thank you. On the cassava thing, what you say is exactly what we're going to do. Just that the first set, which according to them, is about 1,500 hectares, which is around 3,000 and something acres. That would be like the seeding farm. But the idea is to support farmers to grow cassava across not just the country. The people, this company that we just started discussing with, they're looking for 10 million tons of cassava every year. 10 million. Okay? So at the district, Liberia cannot even provide. So, but what we're going to have is going to allow the people to bring the type of cassava they want to grow. So they will do nursery and distribute free seedings. You know how cassava seeding can be, right? You just cut the stuff. So they're going to do everything. So you just come, you get everything you need and go and plant your cassava. You plant it. There is money right away to buy it and process it. So that's we cannot, so the 5,000, 10,000 acres we're going to have, it's just going to be just the basis where we're going to have the factory, we're going to have but the rest of it, people are going to farm everywhere, just as they are farming, Robert. There's going to be outgrow everywhere, and all we are going to do is to come and buy a cassava and give you your money, go. So that's it. On the ambulance, I just sent the picture of the ambulance and the invoice to the guys in the chat room. I will send it to you after. The ambulances were equipped. It's not like the ambulances that you see here. Yeah. It's not like yeah. So
now let's see the chairman at work, the representative at work.
So the ambulance, it has all of the capacity.
Musa, I price this.
Yeah, 65,000 for one. So that invoice is for two.
Okay, got you.
Wow.
Okay. Got you.
Yeah.
But Chairman, I want to ask you a question. Chairman.
Yes.
You saw the fires that have been taking place. What are you doing to get like thing like a fire?
Yeah. I come in, Chief. Let me just end the road with before I jump over it. So the ambulance is up to date. There's a need for training, okay, and we are going to get the appropriate training in order to do what we can. The last thing you mentioned, what was that? Just
the mineral area. The MDA,
Yes.
the
Look,
Mineral Development Agreement.
I have a good news for you for that. A very good news. The legislature, the House of Representatives has decided, the plenary has decided to review all concessions within the Republic of Liberia. And I have been chosen. I have been chosen to head that committee. I was appointed as chairman of that committee by the speaker last week. I promise everybody in this country. I promise everybody in this country that at the end of that review process, the concession in Liberia as they are will never be the same. What is going on here is disgraceful, is wicked, and it's not acceptable. Wow. Look, my brother, there are some concessions in this country that we give more money to than they pay to at the end of the year.
Look at that.
In duty free. Because no concession has ever worked for Liberia. From the day this country, nobody will lie to you. LAMCO was just a joint venture between Liberian government officials and these companies.
Chairman, let me interrupt you. Let me interrupt you. Ask you quickly, Chairman. Why, if doing your investigation, you found out that some of your colleagues in the Senate or the House are involved in this dubious thing? What will you do?
Well, okay. When you are being asked by plenary to report, you make a report and make a recommendation, and then they will take decision on it. If we find any lawmaker that are involved in dubious relationship, the law have to take its course. We will define dubious relationship. Are you saying, for instance, as one of the the chairman of NPP said today, are you saying if there's a lawmaker is maybe providing truck for one of these mining companies?
Okay, So because I know I can said today. So
if
your colleagues are involved in concession where, I mean, first of all, are you guys allowed to rent trucks? I mean, to be renting trucks to concession as lawmakers?
So at the end of the day, my brother, there's something called abuse of power. There's probably no law to stop that. So because if they are doing it, they are either because there's no law
or people fronting for them.
That's the other one I wanted to use. Or there's a corporate deal that shields them. So at the end of the day, the purpose, this is going to be a 6-month project. Then there are companies in Liberia that are holding Liberia forests and getting carbon credit for it, with zero coming to the Republic of Liberia.
Look at that. Wow.
I mean, we're a joke. Complete joke. There is not one concession in the Republic of Liberia that is not destroying this country and has no value. None of them.
Wow.
But then there are 2 layers. One is just by holding them to the bar agreements, they have defaulted. We have to remedy that first. And then we have to make sure that we have a mineral or a natural resource law that sets the standard. We have to have a stakeholder conference. Clearly, no agreement that has royalty is good for Liberia. We got our resources, you get your money, you come, you take the resources, you give our percentage, you carry your resources. Norway is extracting, in Norway, if you are doing mineral extraction, whether it's iron ore or you give the government of Norway over 55%, and you operate in a 45%, whether you like it or not.
Look at it.
Botswana, there were countries that on the island there, right by you there, in the Jamaica, I forgot the country name. There's a country.
Guyana?
Guyana, I think it's Guyana.
Yeah, Guyana, the jet phone oil.
Yeah,
but Chairman,
they have changed the rules. Yes.
During the dual administration, there's something they call, I think you can bear me up. They call there was a policy they go issue. They call it surrender offshore money. Like any amount you made in the country, you have reached 25% in Liberian banks.
That is entirely something else, and also that system should be in place, because my brother, we don't have US dollar, we don't have European how do you call it? We don't have euro. We have the things that the US dollar want, and we have the thing that the euro want. So if you come and take that thing, you must surrender some of the euro to us.
Yes. Surrender offshore.
The thing is, let's say Meta Steel takes out $400 million worth of, let me give you an example. And it's close to the fact of iron ore out of Liberia every year. If you surrender 25% of the value of that to a central bank, it means that the Central Bank of Liberia will set the rate of US maybe to say 100 to 1. All right? If you say 100 to 1 and you don't have your own money, you cannot hold that rate. But if Firestone or Meta Steel is selling $400 million worth of iron ore, and $100 million of that money stays in Liberia, and you exchange to them in Liberia that they pay your people, pay everybody, this is the rate. That means when the rice people, the petroleum people, when they come looking for US dollar to go buy goods and services, central bank got it. So therefore, they will buy it at the government rate and sell it. So at the end of the day, in my mind, there's nothing that we can do as a people that will not help us. That 25% surrender scheme. Look, the World Bank, the IMF, all these organizations.
Bring it back.
Let me tell you something. All these organizations, none of them help in the country. I'm sorry.
But honorability, these
if
are
we don't help ourselves,
organizations.
That
shareholders, they take Americans' money.
Yes.
They invest in that, they go to poor country and give them.
Yes.
What they do.
They will not help us. We have to help ourselves.
But
so
that's why last week when I met from how they call him the president of Asala Meta, when he and President Boga came out of the meeting, they never put questions. They just talk and like that you're taking questions for the people because they got mad and nobody asking questions.
That thing that was just basic, man. Somebody that was just basic. That's not job we are trying here. Or not trying here. No bill will pass here. You don't even hear with that thing, man. They can kind of have coffee and bread in a mansion that are business, but nothing will pass by us if it doesn't interest the Latino people. Nothing. So they don't even hear with that thing. The president has the right to beat anybody he wants to beat. Yeah?
Tomalin is now muted. That sound is just coming.
Alex, I think Alex muted. I can't.
Here is the other dimension. You know, we talk about the mineral here, but we have an agrarian economy. We are agriculture people.
Yeah.
Look in the current budget. I'm not going to use the expression you use. It's a trash or what else. I have a lot of respect for I have a lot of respect.
They didn't do a good. They didn't do, my brother, they didn't even consult anybody. The whole government, they didn't consult nobody.
Can I put it in a trash? What do you mean? Are you spreading it?
I'm not going to use the honorable word, okay? But here is what was also surprising. The amount allocated for agriculture was, I think, 0.8% was so small, you know.
But I'm sorry, Caleb, it was not allocated for agriculture. It was allocated to run the Ministry of Agriculture and pay the people there.
Yeah.
It was not allocated. You don't call that allocated for agriculture. I'm sorry. My brother, if you get education and 80% of the Ministry of Education budget is to pay that investment in education there.
That's not investment.
So look, there's no other way to call that budget. There's no other way. And that's why we will use the authority that we have to change this country. So let them go on with their 2024 budget. We're going to redefine the mineral development agenda in this country. When Dr. Jala said he can raise 1 billion, I agree with him. When Dr. Jala said he can raise 1 billion, he can do it. We can raise $400 million from our MDA. Today, we're not raising $100 million.
Yeah.
We're not raising $100 million. I'm telling you, the highest amount of money we're getting from one of the companies is 24 or 25 million. End of story.
Wow.
So at the end of the day, at the end of the day,
Chairman,
God has brought us here.
We got a time, so when you come back here, you gotta come back this week. We got a time.
Anytime,
so come back.
Anytime. Today, I actually
because
I just want
you bring a lot. You bring a lot. Yeah, but Chairman, that during the week, come out the week. Let's talk because we need to talk more about.
Tomorrow, Wednesday, anytime. You know, I'm here to educate the people, and
yes,
we're here to do what we have to do. And gentlemen,
people are texting me. They said people are texting me that we should bring you back. So, but we go other time. I would just say, Chairman, you gotta come this week. People are texting me. See what happening? You get it? People are following you. So people want you to continue, but I say all the time. So that's why. So, but Chairman, we're always good to have you. And just because of our time, just tell us your parting, but then we'll bring you back. Either the guys and I will discuss. Yeah, Wednesday. No, I will confirm with the former LCC board. He's supposed to be coming. Consider James Yimpan Radio. So we'll confirm it. But the chairman is very important. The chairman come by the week. Chairman, so either if we'll do a show on Thursday, we'll do it just because of the importance of the discussion.
I'm ready, gentlemen. But look, I want you to know that this your show. You gotta keep it up. Liberia needs it. Liberia needs the show. We need opposition. I said today to the opposition community, we must keep the opposition, we must keep the government feet on fire.
You're right. That's true.
Me, yesterday, everybody used to say, you're not criticizing Joe, well, okay. The people who used to tell me, say, I'm not criticizing government. Now I'm criticizing government. Look, I don't criticize because I didn't have any power to change anything. But those Mickey Mouses that used to be causing me are dead. They don't want to. Let them put them more on me because as a lawmaker, I will use my power on them.
The chairman.
I will put them in their place. Because if I'm speaking as a lawmaker and you Mickey Mouse, you in the executive, you put more inside, you'll be charged for legislative contempt. Because I'm doing my job. I'm expanding. So let them talk. I'm waiting for them.
When I see that car, I want to see that the Nima flag and the Liberian flag on that car.
Man, the flag will be on the G-Wagon. Don't worry.
Oh, wow.
I tell you.
That's what
the G-Wagon on your asset, the G73. He said we'll be in the country.
The G-Wagon coming on the weekend, man, Ben.
Oh, before, but Ben, before the chairman leave, all the people that used to accuse him to all kind of crap, so he's submitted an asset and made public. Nobody had raised an issue. All of them just went quiet.
But Ben, they got sense. I didn't tell them I get money. I showed them the money and then I showed them where I get the money from. You know, I hear someone else say today, "Oh, Musa Belede got fire service company." I don't look at these ignoramus. When you get almost 4-5 million gallons of fuel oil in a tank, the condition is that you must have a fire truck on it, sitting down. We pay $490,000.
I saw the tanker. I saw the tank.
Yeah, we pay $490,000 for that tanker. And when my speaker calls me in distress and say, "I've called it," I've called the fire service. It's 1 hour. They have not come. I dispatched my team there. And today I was proud when the speaker told me that when our truck arrived there, the way they was spraying the water, you knew that I was something different. You know, I was very happy. You know,
all right.
let them come tell me now where I get the money from.
You know,
some of the people that who supporting that, they get a BB building there and the property that they cannot even show where they get it. My own money, I get it, and the play I get it for a year. They can't talk nothing back. They can't say anything.
I will say thank you, Musa. You know, one of the things I'm excited and I'm happy about is how fascinating you and the speaker are working together. I see the two of you. I mean, it's like you're two peas in the pod, and there's a lot of confidence there. And it's
Ben, I need to talk to you right now about Liberty Party. I saw he dropped the phone. You got to call me now.
All right, Mr. Chairman, I got you.
We got to take our position. We're going to take our position now as a formal opposition party in the country.
Of course.
Call me right now.
Of course, Mr. Chairman. You know me. I ready to oppose UP. So
I had a very good relationship. I had a good discussion with our man. So I can't tell you now.
Very good.
Yeah,
that chairman's talking now. They want that's so bullshit. Yeah.
Okay,
I heard that Dylan and all you come, you're having meeting. You come back. That's good.
You just want us to talk. Don't mind.
My brother,
yeah,
the party will be united, and the law will be the law.
Finish.
And we'll build a party that will give Liberia.
All the words will be
and Liberty Party will remain strong and will be in the opposition, and Liberty Party will be the next party to run this country.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay, well, some of us disagree. Some of us think the Liberty Party is a disaster.
It doesn't necessarily mean that we will produce. Look, anybody that will be president,
you're talking about collaboration.
It will be a collaboration.
Okay.
One person can do it.
We're not saying that we don't
necessarily. No. But the fact is, you're talking on your party and now you're jubilating. I think Liberia needs new change. We need new faces. Liberty Party is history. CDC party is history.
You
got other people who have not participated. Let me learn. I mean, you have people in Liberty Party that have served at the highest level, including even now the pro tem. They've been a massive failure. You call your own government budget a trash. You think Liberian people are going to sit down?
Let me correct you. Correct you. Liberty Party is not part of the rescue community. I beg you.
Exactly.
But the people in your party have ran the government.
I acknowledge that.
And you're being a failure.
Is not part of the rescue team.
No, they're not part of it, but they've been in. But Musa, hold on. Let's have a dialogue. I know most of the people here are pretty single, but let's have an intellectual dialogue.
Oh, Ben.
What?
I just do to that a pretty single. What we're saying here is this: Liberia needs a new face, new direction, new leadership. We don't want to hear the people currently in Liberty Party, okay, that have laid this country down. Where you said there are mineral concession agreements where Liberia don't even benefit. They've served at all levels, from the Ellington to current, in the House, the Senate, all levels of government, and they've given us nothing. Today we owe $2.something billion in debt. We want the 7th poorest nation in the world. There's no opportunity, no proper help. Then you can't stand for me and tell me, say, Liberty Party or any other of the existing
They are not
party.
the ruling party before.
But what I'm saying, they are being part of governance. Governor is not just the president. You know, that's the part most of you get it wrong.
Alex, where your party name?
Well, I run out as an independent for now.
Okay, so you see, Alex, you see, Robert Kennedy running as an independent in America. But the Democratic Party was the party of slavery. The Republican Party was the party of Abraham Lincoln and Martin Luther King. Republican Party ended up giving birth to Donald Trump, who Tomalin don't like, and Keff loves. And the Democratic Party, which was the party that was the Jim Crow party.
If you love Donald Trump, then I will delete your number in my phone.
Oh yeah, Kev is a Trump. But I'm just saying that
Thank you.
build these institutions. It doesn't mean that one person.
We can change it, Ben. But yeah, what the chairman people that you need to do. You cannot keep bringing the same young lady candidate Lawrence Dallas along. Hold on, yeah. Hey, hold on, let me finish. Yeah, but hold on, yeah. Your chairman is doing a good job as a representative so far. He has laid off some proposal, which I think the public, including myself, have vowed to support him. His fate and his party fate will depend on how well he execute those first. I think he should focus on that. Once he done that, then the Liberian people will say, okay, this man King, he said he will pass this law, he will create a Kasawa, what you call. But you're jumping way ahead.
Alex,
so that's why I'm saying, Chairman, focus on your job now.
This is going to be my last thought on this.
Chairman, we have a guest, Chairman, will be guest on Thursdays because it's important. So we got to go, Ben.
Okay, quickly, but I would just end on this note. I can assure you, Alex, when Musa was running for the House of Representatives, when they used to cost me and him together, combined, one, because they say we're not supporting Joseph Boyga. So we're not patriots. I kept saying to a lot of people today who even clapping for Musa, are people who, if the people of District Number 7 had listened to them, they would have denied themselves the kind of representation they have today. Yeah. And I can tell you, the conversations that we have had in the back, none of the things Musa doing here, I'm surprised. I know a lot of people, none of the things that he's doing, I am surprised because these are things that he talked about, that we discussed. We talked about how he was going to do certain things and how he was going to become kind of like a guinea pig, if to use the lack of a better word, right? To go in there and to kind of be constructively on a disruptive side, to do some of the things they're doing. And I'm glad that the speaker appointed you on the head of that committee because you have a lot of experience in dealing with a lot of these concessionaires and you know exactly where to look for. Where will you be able to look to if they're trying to hide certain things? So I can tell you, sometimes we want to give up on the country, but we're not going to give up on the country because I'm telling you, a lot of things can change, especially through that national legislature. If they just muster the courage to do some of the things, to put out some of the checkpoints and to ask some of the difficult questions, some of the tough questions, the executive will fold. The executive is not just going to roll over. If you have they
don't even have choice there. They don't even have choice.
Yeah.
There are 3 branches of the government, and we are the first.
Yeah.
Nobody will walk over this legislature. You will go to the system. They book us. The concession will review everything, will change it, and there will be no new. I'm telling you now, we'll not stand no new concession here where Liberia does not have their share. Some of you sitting now in America over there with all the book that you have learned. You should have been here to take all these shares and manage it for the country. And then we all will be rich as shareholders and our people will benefit. And we were just sitting there literally begging people. And the so-called international community, they sit down and they talk about austerity measure. They are, can you imagine there's certain standard we cannot raise the people's salary? That means they are forcing us to keep our people at certain standard. Meanwhile, they have no criticism of the fact that construction companies are taking everything and leaving nothing to Liberia. They're quick to point out corruption of government officials, which is a good thing. Have they ever pointed out the wrong of any construction company in Liberia?
Mr. Chairman, we will have you
in their definition, in the World Bank and the IMF definition, and all their report in this country, have they ever criticized? That means the World Bank and the IMF, they say every construction in Liberia is good because they said nothing about it.
Honorability.
Yeah, we gotta go. We gotta go back. We gotta go.
You'll be the guest on Thursday.
You'll be on Thursday.
You'll be our guest on Thursday. On Thursday, we'll have you as guest because we'll have you as guest on Thursday.
Ben, call me now. You need to call me now. It's urgent.
Okay, I'll call you after the show.
They want the party issue. Get off that net. Come right now.
Okay, I'll call you.
Yeah.
No problem.
Guys, you know, guys, thank you, man.
All right.
But I'm sorry, but guys, we have to go quickly. You know, the studios guy calling us, so we gotta go.
All right, so let's go. Let's go.
So, but we'll be back on Wednesday. We should have the former LACC boss, Chairman James Verdier, to be our guest. We'll talk about the war crime school, talk about a lot of stuff we'll talk about. And so let's see what happens. But guys, it's been a pleasure for tonight. Ellis Jones, I mean, tonight you are, I mean, everybody comfortable.
You come Wednesday, go to the street. The Megan Vladimir Putin. When you go to the G7, you saw one thing, you go to BRICS.
Yeah, then you go to
I will be your Vladimir Putin, Nigeria.
You go to the G7, you saw what capitalism, then you go to BRICS, you said no.
We're still in our country.
But serious, no, I just want to make a quick announcement. You see the cash app number? Dr. Peabody is collecting some money for the people in Ghana, the people that returned to refugees. Yeah, the government supposed to repatriate some of them on the 1st of May, but right now they need water, they need food. So if you can't just donate $20 or $30 or $50 on the cash app to help those people in Ghana. Thank you.
Y'all hear Grace's voice, y'all better donate.
Yeah, guys, so.
But when that Grace could do that, I don't want that.
But also, so don't forget the closing argument. Y'all please donate to the cash app for the closing argument too, because we need to keep it going. And everybody right now. But guys, gentlemen, I want for you guys to investigate the issue of LDA. It's a serious thing.
We will, yeah, we're going to deep into it, Tommy, and jump into it next.
I got information that the deputy and the boss, they're having serious problem.
Yeah, I got to say, I know Keff has been doing a lot of investigations.
Yeah, so Keff,
it's too early, man.
Actually,
both of them are currently on Spoon. I was watching them.
Why you you don't want to Spoon play in the background? Why you don't?
You can't do that, my man.
How you do that?
Guys,
I mean, you.
That drugs they come today.
Oh, yeah. Drugs coming in the country.
Yeah.
Also, so that kush coming so kush there.
But who bringing it on? Joseph Baga, because they used to say that drug. We are bringing drugs.
My understanding is that the deputy said that the drugs were they brought for the boss of DA from Turkey.
Wow.
So I gotta call AB to find out what's going on because
we gotta call AB.
I'll call AB. What's going on because
that's the drugs. But again, some other development again. They're training some folks on the LDA. But the LDA is saying I got the pictures them for the training.
Oh,
me and the LDA is saying that they don't know the people that are training. But the government training a bunch of people there. But they're saying the chief AB saying he don't know. So who are those people that training? I got the information and everything.
I'll call it for the guy brothers too. I'll hear both sides of the story before. Yeah, what? It's serious.
Yeah, that's the training. Yes, that's the training. Yeah, that's the training. This.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. So the training Malaysia do?
Yeah, but AB say he don't know. That's the training. Wow. Yeah, that's the training.
But you know something, President Boga for this is May 1st. I'm sure you'll do some reshuffle.
Oh, you know something about Tomalin people here, man.
Well, LDA said they don't know.
Let me say this. Don't mind Tomalin where he show he will do reshuffle. How you a reshuffle of government you have not even completed? What you reshuffle? Let me say this. And you know what? Alex Jones said something I was very striking.
Cabinet completed, man.
Alex Jones said something that was very striking. And when it comes to the issue of competence, when it comes to the issue of competence, 44-year-old President Faye completed a government in what? 1 week, literally 1 week. And we have a 40-something-year veteran.
Take this down.
Man, anyway, let me go back.
They were prepared to leave.
Yeah, let me not go here.
Well, you want to conversation too? You want to join for conversation? You remind me?
Oh no, I'm not a Liberty Party.
How are you running that?
Let me tell you.
Look, Kimberly.
I see. I gotta
go. Let me Ben, before you go, let me let you know. Liberty Party, CDC, ANC is not the hope for Liberia. We need new faces. We need new people. And I'm going to oppose you guys on your record. You have not delivered, so you can get your meeting. You can hear all the speakers in your own. You can do all of that, but we will fight you guys politically. We want new faces. We want people like this. We want people like Timothy. We want new people in Liberia in leadership. I will lead our side.
But maybe you and Clarence can form a ticket. I know who will run president.
I can run anybody. Look, I'm not being leader or president. I just want change for the country. Ben, that's the difference between.
I agree with you. I think a young, vibrant,
capable, young, capable, qualified. Young, capable, qualified, experienced person, not just young.
Yes, young, capable, qualified, experienced.
Is that what you agree with?
So Grace Ahuda. Grace Ahuda.
The Liberty Party is part of the problem. Is that what you agree with?
Grace Ahuda.
Agree with one and that he said Liberty Party. That's his opinion. I can't do anything about Alex Jones' opinion.
I agree with you.
No. I said I agree with him that a young, progressive, ready, competent ticket would give the establishment a run for his money. I've always believed that. Listen. I've always believed that. That's why I ran in 2014. When people said nobody could challenge George Weah, I ran against George Weah.
Grace, you say clean. You say clean record.
Clean track record, yes.
Clean track record.
So, but the Unity Party get clean record, right?
No, but today, right? Today is Sunday, but Ben. But today is Sunday that coming running stay with Ben. Right?
Come in at history, man.
This is right.
We get more money.
It sounded like Cummings gonna run. So I
mean,
that was positive.
Right, guys, we gotta go. Time.
That was positive.
All right, guys. Thank you very much.
More money will be
Alex,
good to see you, man. See you guys.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it. Bye bye.
Good to see you, Alex Jones. Good to see you. Kerabo, you were my pen to call Musagi. I'll see you, Kerabo.
I gotta come on a political leader too. Our new leader coming. I wouldn't need that. Call him. The body was John. Our party they call our party the last stand.
Yeah, I joined that
last
stand.
John party they call it the last stand.
But Henry, I take over now. I think Henry
took over. I think the last stand. Our party the last stand.
All right, guys. You have a good night.
Hold it down, buddy. Hold it down.
It's on the back, though.
Eh?
I see the chairman stay in the back.
Chairman stay there?
Yeah.
Actual factual, is it the last thing?
All right, guys, hold it down.
Okay.
Somebody.
Yeah.
What's up, man? After the show.
Okay, bro.
All right. Bye, Henry.
Lord, we cry for love.
And I tell you, this is all the time we have to be with you here today on the closing document. Time exactly 28 minutes down up to 1 o'clock. That's been informative, educative. Getting the closing document. Many thanks to the team that held up here on the 7.9. That's you, the man. Zeze Bara. And the team there at 2FM96.9 there in Nima County, Sacred PA. Let me say many thanks to the technician here at 2FM96.1 and the man Ansu Salif. He has been here, the man at the bottom.